Go ahead and get this started to stream. Now, this will be session 2 of Lost Republic. Now, this will be session 1 for some of you. Now, here's what I need to have happen. Some of you know what's about to happen right now, and some of you do not. After the start of session 1, every new session, I ask for a recap of the session, which I will not do. Now, the reason why I do this is because I want to hear from the player's perspective what they got from the previous session, what they think is important, what they think is relevant, because there's situations where a GM might say something that he knows is important, but the players never get on it. Or certain things happen where the players think it's important, but it's actually not. Then we can work it back and forth. It just kind of describes how well I'm relaying information. So I will always have one of the players recap, either together as a group or someone, just what happened, what you know of last game, and the events that's been kind of unfolding, what's going on. So, with that being said, who here wants to recap what happened last session?
Not it.
We started the last session in the star system of Bimil, on a small, what's it called, space station there. Which I can't seem to recall the name of right now. We're here for various reasons. I do believe Avak was here to find some work. I was here looking for artifacts, and a scholar was here looking to cure a potential disease that was going on in the system. We got a bit going, introduced our characters, had a small RP with various NPCs, and then the station was attacked by unknown assailants. We had to rush out of the station to escape. In the process, we basically jucked into some escape pods. We rewired the autopilot to run it in and ram it into the hangar so we could get into Mr. Forget About It's spaceship. We ran into the spaceship, had some small engagements to try to escape from some starfighters, and I believe we are starting the session as we're entering the planet in the system.
That about sums it up.
That is correct. So, the game started. Everyone on the station called Telkin Station. Now, Telkin Station itself was a old, retrofitted mining base. And this is the image of it right here. Now, everyone here was not known to each other. Everyone here was new. Everyone's here for their own reasons. And essentially what happened on the station was, if you look at the top part of the station, these arms that come out are essentially the docking rings, docking ports for the various ships that do come to Telkin Station. Now, Telkin Station itself, being a old retrofitted mining base, once the minerals in the asteroids ran out, the corporation moved on, left the base here, and eventually individuals came to Telkin Station, turned it into a seedy port, a location that people can go to get away from maybe a civilized life or from the law that might be looking for them, to acquire rare or illegal artifacts. So it was a seedy underbelly of a station or a society, and it was close proximity to Bimil. Now, while they were at the lower section, the lower spire of Telkin Station, an event unfolded. Aggressors came out of hyperspace and, well, blew up the station. And as mentioned by the players, there was some events unfolding to go back to the upper section that was now detached from you to get to the ship to escape, because everything was going to hell in a handbasket and you're all eventually going to die. Now, got to escape pods through thinking about some plans on how to get back to the upper part of the section of the station, and jury-rigging the pods, you got to the upper station. Now, one thing that did happen that wasn't mentioned was there were other escape pods that were being ejected from the lower section of the station, and those were being shot down by the cruisers. And I have an image of the cruiser, and it's right here. So these are the cruisers. There are 3 of them, and they were the ones. They had no identifying marks. They are not Republic or Sith or any type of identifiable faction right now in the galaxy. Unknown. But they attacked the station, blew it up, attacked all the escape pods. Now, some ships did escape into hyperspace. Some got blown up. Your ship got away, was attacked, and you decide to hide in the asteroid ring around the station, and you essentially was able to convince the cruisers and everyone around that you blew up because you caused a bit of a scene, I would say, in the debris, and eventually the cruiser did. All 3 cruisers left into hyperspace. Now, in the midst of the battle that you were trying to hide, you did get damaged, and the hyperdrive of the ship is damaged, and so going to a next protocol to get repairs is going to be Bamiel, the closest planet, because, well, going to another planet without hyperdrive is, well, going to take a long time.
Might be here for a couple thousand years.
So, you now find yourselves, with the start of this game, as you are on the ship, and you are heading down towards this giant ball of a planet. Now, looking at the planet of Bamiel, it is for the most part, a desert temperate planet. It does have ice peaks in the north and south poles, but for the most part, it's a unassuming, not really well-known planet. Nothing really rich about it, resource-wise or anything. So, but there's going to be some habitable spots, or habitable. I can't talk right now. There's life down there. So, in the atmosphere, ship is going down. I'm now going to leave the scene to all of you and how you wish to proceed forward. Now, we have klaxons blaring within the bridge of the ship because the hyperdrive has been damaged.
I'm curious, like, is Nathan present with us? Or basically like recommend that he was with us last session, or?
Talking about Kane? Oh, not Kane, Lucar? What were you asking about?
I was wondering, basically, are we retconning in so that he was with us last session? Or are we, like, meeting him on the planet?
Oh, no, he was not there. It was you 3.
I suppose I'll be disembarking from the threats. What the fuck bloody hell is that noise? Is something damaged?
So, as you're talking, Lucar? Actually, how do you pronounce your name? Is it Lucar or Lusar?
Lucar.
Okay, Lucar. Let's see. Lucar, you being the type of character you want to be, well, you're on Telkin Station. Your ship was essentially blown up because your companion left without you. And you watched out of the hangar bay as he left. His ship got struck by a turbo laser from the cruisers and got obliterated. You need another ride. So you actually got to the vessel as you're being pursued by several individuals. And you got to the ship. You actually were able to, in some finagling way, you got into the ship itself. And right before the assailants that were following you, trying to get to you to also board the ship, but they're not your friends, you locked the door on them. Right when you heard people behind them yelling, "That's my ship!" Pretty much, for the most part. Then a battle ensued. You decided to hide yourself, which is how you now unhide yourself because you somehow get seen on board the ship that you essentially stowed away upon. So, the question to you, and it does seem that Jin already mentioned she heard something on the ship. So, where are you hiding?
In the bathroom.
Okay, so in the refresher, you hear a bit of noise, Jin, coming from the refresher unit of the ship.
Did Kane run to the shitter?
Now, just make it very, very obvious, as you're heading down towards the planet, all 3 of you are in the bridge. So there's noise coming from the ship that is not from those of you that boarded the ship. I'll put it that way.
No, not quite. I do not.
Do you have other, what's it called, crew members, Alak, that we do not know about?
If it only me.
Oh shit. Okay. Perhaps when the 3 ran off, it had friends.
More than likely there is possibly a stowaway, if that is the case.
So the question I got for you, Lucar, is why are you making noise? How are you making? Why are you causing noise for?
Oh, well, he just flushed, and, like, it smells really fucking bad. He's like, oh, shit, I gotta get out of here. Like, I just dropped a horrible bomb, and then he opens the door and goes to leave.
Okay, it looks like Arbok leaves some very big turds, or his companions did. Either way, something got messed up, some got backlogged, and he had to get out of there very, very fast.
Oh no, that was Lucar. He took a massive ship.
Oh,
The
you
pain
took
of
your own
shit.
shit in the thing, and it was too much for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Weak.
Space ships, man. Dude,
Hey,
he's not
man.
used to space life.
If you smelt it, you should be able to delta.
Well, as it is, that is the noise. You're hearing someone kind of gagging, I guess, not really too well. And I imagine that sound just echoes down towards the bridge of the ship.
Well, shit. Shall we go check this out then?
I pretty much arm my blaster rifle and head over.
I shall stay here to make sure that there are none more.
But I'll accompany Arvak.
All right, Arvak and Jin are going towards Refresher. Kane, what are you doing? No, sorry, not Kane. All right, Arvak. Arvak's the one piloting the ship still, correct?
Oh, I'm pretty sure we were like on autopilot or something. If we're like,
Essentially, I'm trying to learn you guys' names to voice. That's why. So, to make it easy for me,
Okay.
tell me your name and where you're going.
Arvac is gonna head to the noise coming from the dang bathroom.
Got it. All right.
Jin is following Arvak.
Lucar is trying to escape the nuke that he dropped at the bathroom.
Okay. And Kane, what about you?
Kane is staying on the bridge to make sure that nothing else going down in there.
Okay. So before going any further, Arvak, you send the autopilot. You send the autopilot to where?
To like pretty much just head course to the planet.
Okay. All right. So, Lucar, you're trying to hide. Well, let's make this easy. Just guess you can do some. One of the few times PvP rolls will be in use. So go ahead and give me a give me a stealth roll there, Lucar.
Okay. Shit. Okay, wait.
Do you know how?
Oh, wait. Yes, I have.
Yeah.
I forgot.
No, you're good. Go to the skills tab of your character sheet.
This button? There we go.
Well, not survival.
Wait, what?
You're not trying to survive on the ship. Give me stealth.
Just wrap my own fucking.
Yeah, it's so big there's a whole ecosystem here. You're living off the land in the ship.
Fungus growing on the walls.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna say because the fact you rolled a 7, there's no way to hide for 3 people. So, as Arvak and Jin turn around the corner, you see this individual. Now, here's to all of you because we now need to kind of describe. Actually, we'll do that a little later. Arvak and Jin, you see this individual who is trying to escape. Arvak, he's not someone you recognize at all. He's a stowaway. They got in here probably before the group that you all encountered by the entrance of your ship. He's trying to evade notice from you. What do you do?
Huh? I go try and grab him.
All right. Well, just because of the nature of the ship, you know it, and Lugar being a stowaway, and there's 2 of you, eventually 3, I'm just going to say that eventually you're going to be able to snag Lugar.
Oh, Lucar won't run.
Okay.
Or Lucar doesn't.
All right.
But the moment. Sorry, who was grabbing me?
Arvac.
Yeah, the Trandoshan.
Hey. And a
Okay.
7-foot-tall lizard man is grabbing you.
I'm gonna say, yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, Lucar's scared, but he's just. Yeah, he lets it happen, I guess.
Okay, so
What are you doing on my ship?
Yes. Well, actually, I was taking a shit in the, yeah. Don't go in there for a while. It's bad. I really shouldn't have, yeah.
Do
Those
you-
Nuna legs were, real bad.
That doesn't explain why you're on my ship.
Do you often go into
What do you
random ship
mean?
to take a shit?
You had to have been on that station too. You saw it blow up. What else was I supposed to do? And I had to
we're on
take a
the
shit.
station. We're below the station, floating in space.
Well, I was, so I had to go somewhere. And I also had to empty my bowels.
all right, let's calm down with the shit jokes a little bit, please. It's a little too much.
Well, I don't believe we've met. Hello, I'm Mr. Jin. And I reach out a hand past the Trandoshan holding it.
Lucar course, a little hesitant, but he little bit of a weak handshake too. Shakes his hand, keeping his distance though. Nice to meet you.
What do we do with him? I just don't
Well,
like
let me
him.
go, of course.
I let him
Or,
go.
thank you, good sir. Well, I could always. I've been looking for a group of friends to help me out with living and stuff. It's kind of hard. Grew up in
We just
the backwater for a while, so I don't know how to do space very well. You guys want to help?
we literally just escaped an exploding space station from an unknown fleet trying
Fleet
to
of
kill
assholes.
us.
You know that at least. And you know that I wasn't one of them. Think about it. So I'm basically a good guy.
Arvex simply just raises his hands up in the air and just pretty much just you deal
Kirk
with
gives him
him.
high five.
I just tell Jin to just deal with him your way. I just give up. I head back to the bridge.
I think he likes you.
Jim might be right. Jin, what's his name?
Oh, that's Arvak. This is his ship.
Oh,
I think I've known him for all about 20 minutes. Yeah, but we're great friends. I'm sure you'll be too.
perfect.
Quick question, GM.
Yes,
Is there an intercom or anything like that on the ship?
absolutely.
Alright, so I'll look forward for a second before I beep it on. I believe you all may want to return to the bridge. There is something of importance.
I'm already heading up to the bridge.
Whoa, who's that?
Perfect.
Ah, yes, that's the Kane Jutelli.
Ooh, what a name.
Arvak,
Should we go see what's wrong?
as you're heading towards the bridge of the ship, when the intercom kicked in, you can hear the telltale sign of, well, kind of a warning klaxon or a blaring of a warning signal coming from the cockpit of the ship.
Alright, I start running.
You start running towards the bridge. When you get there, you see that Kane is standing at the front view window, looking out at the surface of the planet. You are within the upper atmosphere of the surface of the planet right now. And the most striking, or the only thing you actually see that is going to be striking, is that there is a very, very enormously large, essentially sandstorm or dust cloud that is very, very quickly about to engulf the ship.
Oh shit!
Can I see any land below?
You do for a moment before the ship essentially hits the outer surface of the sandstorm, and everything kind of gets blanketed into a similar hue of just muddy brown darkness.
Is there a spaceport on this planet?
Well, I wouldn't know.
Well, let's do this. This is a outer rim planet, and we'll go ahead and see if anyone's been here. So, let's go ahead and everyone give me a -3. What's a lore roll, please? -3 lore roll.
Lore, you say?
Yes, at
I've never left my
-3.
planet. Do I still roll?
What?
I've never left my home planet. Do I still roll?
Then nope.
Perfect.
You don't know.
Not great.
That would be 15.
Okay. Arvak, well, being your profession, you actually have heard about this place. So, one peculiar note about the planet that you are currently in the orbit of, or within the surface of atmosphere, Bimiel. It is a essentially unimportant planet that is not next to really any trade way, out of the way, and there is a minor amounts of mining operations on the planet. Not really a place for tourists or other corporations to have any interest in, really. There's a local population, very, very small population of essentially humans or the various races on the planet. Its most distinguished feature, though, is the fact that it does have some mining operations on it, although minor in nature, nothing really big. So there will be a spaceport, most likely somewhere, at least a place to refuel ships, I would say, that come and go.
That would be useful if we could see where we're going. I guess we have to land till the thing passes.
It is your ship. I will leave it to your discretion.
Things make a interesting turn. As you are essentially going through the cloud, you all see the various spikes and the splash of light across the front of the ship through the view window, and just kind of illuminating all of you in a stark contrast on the ship itself with a light. Bolts of lightning are shooting across your view when all of a sudden the ship, although with no noise, no bang, or nothing that would seem like it got struck by anything, although you couldn't really feel it, the entire ship's control system, electricity, consoles, blink out of existence. They turn off. Not out of existence, that'd be kind of weird. They turn off. They lose all power.
Oh.
Yes, this may be a problem. And with that, can I try going about and resetting them back on?
Yes, because after a couple seconds, all of you start to feel the gravity as well as the dampeners, the inertial dampeners of the ship essentially gone. And y'all getting now thrown about the ship as it's, well, not really aerodynamic in the first place. And now, not under power, it starts to, well, do what a giant brick would do in orbit. And it starts to tumble. Slow at first, but picking up speed afterwards.
Okay, yeah, no. Get on the console.
So, y'all start reaching for the console. Y'all start trying to grab something to hold yourself down in. So as this is going on, as I believe Arvak is trying to go to the console, Jin and Kane.
I told the person to get on the console to fix it.
That's the current plan, yes.
To do it.
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna order because I still told the names. Kane, what are you doing?
Kane is basically going to try and jury rig it back to life, hopefully, so that we don't all die horribly.
Fantastic. Jin, what about you?
Right, he went AFK.
Yes. He said he'd be back in a couple of minutes.
All right, he's holding on for dear life. Arvak, what about you?
I'm holding on for dear life.
Fantastic. Lukar, what about you?
Holding on for dear life with Jin.
Fantastic. All of you are screaming. Well, maybe not screaming, but y'all definitely a bit nervous, I would say. Kane, you try to get to the console. Go ahead and give me a... You need to make sure you can stand on your feet. Give me a dexterity save. Actually, now be a save. Give me a dexterity check.
Would acrobatics be?
Oh, actually, no. Give me athletics or acrobatics. Either one will work.
Okay, that's fair. So let's see. 18.
Arvak, got you.
Well, okay.
Kane, so you go ahead and you reorient yourself as all of you are starting to feel the effects of essentially the ship starting to spin and plant you to the side of the ship. Now, Kane, you get to the console that's nearby, and you start trying to do your engineering thing to get this thing up and running and powered again. Go ahead and give me an engineering roll.
Technology?
Yes.
Alrighty. 16.
Okay. The ship's starting to spin faster and faster. All of you starting to feel the gravity or the G-forces more and more upon your body. And at the last minute, can you hit the buttons or the systems to reroute power to essentially boost the ship up again? And, well, all of you feel as the ship tries to reorient itself and stop the spin that it's in, just by the automatic systems in the ship, plus autopilot still being on. And so all of you are thrown to the ground as the ship's thrusters protest in agony, essentially, as they're going into overdrive to keep the ship from colliding to the planet. Because right when you clear the cloud, you can see the surface of the planet rising up very, very fast and very, very close. So, and you have but a moment to think about what to do, or any type of memory or thought, or maybe your mind just goes blank as the ship collides into the surface of the planet. Now, luckily, it was a desert planet with a lot of dunes around, so you're not hitting a very, very hard surface. Although coming from space, it's still going to be a bad trip. So, everyone, again, now please give me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh boy, nervous.
I'm just rolling terribly.
Same.
Welcome to the club. I haven't rolled yet. We'll see.
Oh.
Oh dang, God, it's good at
Not
this.
bad, not bad.
All right, Jin and Lucar, you all get yourselves stowed away, done. Lucar, who do you help out between Arvok and Kane?
Hmm.
No pressure.
Yes.
Yeah, with Kane, because Kane has a cool name.
Okay, so we'll
I
say
can remember this.
make it easy. We'll say Kane was nearby compared to Arbok. So you're able to get a good position. Maybe you harness yourself in real quick, or you're just in a good spot. And essentially, as the ship strikes the ground, you're able to grab Kane and hold him for the most part still. It's still gonna do damage to everyone, but it'll be half damage to essentially everyone except for Arbok. Arbok, you're taking full damage from this. So
Uh-huh.
Lucar is
no.
holding Kane's waist, by the way. Or holding him by the waist.
Oh my.
well, apparently this was a very, very easy blow. So Arbok, you take 3 damage, and everyone else takes 2.
Oh no.
Oh no.
That was actually relatively minor. We'll just say that it was just a really, really, really soft sand dune. Or just the nature of the ship and its construction was just made very, very well. And, well, just luck's on your side. Because as the ship does strike the ground, you do hear an enormous amount of rending of steel and explosions of circuitry as the ship itself is essentially being ripped apart by being dragged by its own momentum across the ground. To the point where you actually see the front view screen break and crack, and immediately a plume of just dust and dirt and sand just blow into the cockpit of the ship from the fracture of the front screen of the ship. And all of you, at the last second, get thrown forward, and in a similar fashion from the escape pod, you all hit the front, you all black out, and after a few moments, y'all come to again, covered in essentially sand. There's no noise coming from any materials except for the sparks of electricity or circuitry from destroyed panels, as well as the backup batteries losing the last remaining amounts of power on board the ship. But you all are alive.
Alright, so as Kane sort of like sits up, he's gonna.
I don't know.
Is everybody alright?
Now you sit up, Kane, and just dust and dirt flies
Oh,
off you
my
everywhere.
back.
You're covered in, everyone's covered in sand. The entire thing inside is covered in sand. Like someone took a sandblaster and just painted the entire place with it.
Oh.
Oh God, sand.
Of course.
It gets everywhere.
Trying to recollect
Oh, no.
himself, trying to get out.
Lucar's in a fetal position.
Is it over? Please, just be over. This went everyone to space. I'll do it again.
I think we are safe for the time being.
Yeah, you can definitely see now that you're on the surface of the planet. Around you is essentially nothing. You see out the front view, the now cracked screen, and it's actually large enough to actually fit through if you so wanted. And in front of the ship is just dunes and plains, some mesas off in the distance. But from your initial vantage point inside the bridge of the ship, you see no signs of civilization. Just desert. And it's daytime.
Lucar immediately jumps out, goes to the front.
Oh God,
Arvak
land!
is
Finally,
currently in
solid
a
ground.
All right, 2 people talking. Who was the other one that said something I didn't understand?
Arvak is currently in shock and is kind of slowly building up rage.
Okay. Which is a legitimate rage because I'd imagine anyone would be pissed off if the ship just got blown up in. Well, not blown up, but essentially just definitely crashed. But you look at the bright side, Arvak, you're alive!
They're just getting better and better. Is this our fourth explosion we've been in today?
Something like that. Kane is gonna like start looking through his sort of like his person to see if all his stuff is still there, basically, making sure nothing got thrown up.
Well, I suppose we should just start walking then. Perhaps we can find a dry dock to get this ship fixed up again. Certainly not going anywhere without professional assistance.
I mean, trying to walk when we have no idea where we're going very well could be a death sentence.
Well, I'm pretty good with on the ground. I can probably find somewhere. Pretty good at that.
By all means, give it a shot.
I mean, I'm used to jungle, but this sand's probably pretty similar, right?
Jungle and sand, pretty similar? Sure.
Think so.
Right?
Well, I suppose it is more than my experience with cities and more cities. So yeah, sure.
Wait,
I suppose you can lead us.
who is this fellow exactly?
Ah yeah, this is the stowaway. I believe you said your name was Lukar.
Alright, now
That's
at
what
this
it
point,
is.
real quick, I'm gonna interrupt everyone. So I want everyone now to describe, because it's actually, Lucar wasn't here last session. Everyone now do introductions to each other. So go explain what you are, race-wise, and kind of what your distinguishing feature, maybe weapon-wise, or what you have on you that makes you kind of stand out. So we can do introductions for him now.
Careful, everyone, not all at once.
Should I roll a d4? See who starts?
Yeah, sure, why
I
not?
like that one.
Uh-oh. So is it highest? Oh, shit, fuck.
Alright, Lucar, what do you look like? Let's go make it easy.
Pretty similar to Han Solo. He's almost 6 foot. Basically 6 foot. Medium weight, average build. Brown hair, kind of long. He looks a lot like Han Solo, and yeah, I mean, he's human. That's about it. He's not very. He doesn't stand out very well,
Okay.
but he's also mildly attractive.
Mildly attractive. Got it.
Bonus points.
Any obvious weaponry that we can see on you?
Big gun, not big gun, but like big handgun.
Okay.
He's also wearing like fiber armor, so like lightweight armor.
Mm.
He's kind of this guy to pursue at sea aboard Telkin Station.
He's also a little unkempt, maybe a little more than a little unkempt, but yeah, just average looking human.
That's fair.
That's about it. Yeah.
Alright, then I guess I'll go next. Kane's a little bit on the shorter side, probably a couple inches under 5'10". Looks like he's in his maybe mid to early 20s at a glance. Pale white skin, sort of like silverish eyes, almost albino colored hair. Seems very, very like well maintained and groomed though. He's pretty thin looking. Seems to be wearing a somewhat fancy looking suit, and has a blaster that is relatively hidden at his side. It's there, but you know, it's like not like the first thing that you see, basically.
Oh yeah, I should add that Lucar looks about the same as Kane. Mid, maybe early 20s on a good day. He also has very light blue eyes, almost silverish, almost gray, but you can see the obvious like blue tint and hue to them.
Okay. Jin currently looks like a human. Early 20s, 21, 22 maybe. She has no obvious weaponry on her, although the rest of you has this sword and lightsabers last session. She wears no armor, relatively fine dressed, and blue eyes, black hair, pale skin. Although, like I mentioned earlier, that doesn't really matter, since, like I said, shapeshifter.
Arvak is a 7-foot Trindoshan with more of a hunch, wearing more worn mercenary armor with his body having a weird ash red scale color to them. And is currently cursing in the distance about his crashed ship in Dosh.
What exactly is he saying?
Oh, you'll understand if you Dosh.
Fair enough.
You can actually say it and see if anyone understands.
It's a perfect time to test this out.
Well, Arbeck is saying that. Those of you that do get next to the screen, or if you actually do step out to the outside the ship from one of the various openings, because the ship is damaged enough to where you can actually just walk out the ship, you can definitely tell that it's essentially midday. And as you look all around, essentially you're going to be seeing no signs of civilization, but you do see the large remnants of the sandstorm that the ship did fly through behind you. And looking at that, it stretches almost impossibly high into the sky, and it's just wide all around. And you can see the streaks of just lightning that stretch from one end to the other end. Very, very large, just bolts of just energy. And you can see that it's slowly, in your view, but most likely very, very fast, moving in its own... It's still moving in the direction that it has been traveling since it's been here, essentially. So, for the time being, there is nothing around you. So, besides some mesas and just a lot of dunes, we need to determine how you want to proceed forward. Now, Arvok does know that there are remnants of... Not remnants, but there are towns within Bimiel, as well as some that are going to be able to supply, possibly repair a ship, or even just to get a message out if you need to. But you got to find one. The question is, how do you find one in your situation, and how do you prepare, if you so want to get to that location?
I'm curious, this sandstorm, in which direction is it traveling?
To make it easy, it's traveling southwest.
Away from us?
Yes, it is traveling away from you. That's one thing you can have a bit of a breather for.
So then, should we start walking now? Yes.
That we
Yeah.
should.
Yeah, I believe that's the only option, really.
Lead the way, Mr. Explorer.
Oh, you flatter me. Yeah, should I just like roll survival and just wing it?
Never roll until I tell you, please. Or I will just fail the roll. So, don't need to roll survival right now because we're not doing any survival thing besides just going in a random direction. So, what I want to know, though, is what direction you want to move towards.
Away from the storm.
Okay.
I'll briefly like check the communications units on the ship, like see if I can pick up any signals or radio signals from anywhere.
You go to one of the comm links, and you maybe open up the broadband or try to get it away to where it can be more of like a walkie-talkie or just pick up signals and whatnot. And you do pick up something very, very, very faint. Although it's too far away for the essence of a personal comm link, something that's bigger or even the communication systems on board the ship could possibly locate or even talk to someone around the surface of the planet. But the condition of the ship, you would need to do a bit of repairing. So it's an option you can try.
I'm not good at repairing ships. I usually get someone to repair it for me.
Yes, unless I wanted to explode, I think I should avoid trying to do that myself.
I could take a shot at it, but I doubt I'd be able to do anything with the state of everything, understandably.
Well, if nothing else, we can maybe get the direction, just to know where to walk.
Perhaps.
I'll do that.
Very well then, if you all so wish, I shall take a look at it. So go ahead and roll technology, I guess, Gene.
All right, so Kane,
Hi.
go ahead and I do believe technology would be what it is. Now, obviously, looking at this thing, there's no power in the ship at all. So we need to reroute some power. We need to do some jury rigging. So yeah, go ahead and give me a technology roll.
Good old jury rigging. Let's see. 15.
After pulling some wires, messing around with the consoles, and essentially scavenging parts to get a working system, you're able to, with kind of the backup power of the ship itself that's able to be turned on, you do get a brief amount of power into one of the stations or one of the places you have that will be able to do communication. And so you have in front of you a screen that kind of pops up. Fuzzy is blinking on and off. It's still getting sporadic amounts of power fluctuations and whatnot, but you do hear a bit of noise or chatter coming through the system.
Well. What does it say?
Doesn't say anything. Or, sorry, rephrase that. It's kind of just miscellaneous talk, and what you're picking up is essentially the reports of a surveying team. There's someone out here that is trying to find something, and they're giving off essentially coordinated grids, signals to whoever it's going to, the signal-wise. That is what you pick up. Someone's out there somewhere looking for something.
Someone is out in this desert with us, although where exactly or who they are, I cannot safely say.
Should we try talking to them? Or
I don't believe it's capable at this point.
very well. Can you triangulate the position? Do you know? Can you tell where they are?
With this, pardon my tongue, but hunk of junk, no, not quite.
Oh well. I suppose we at least know there are someone out there, so we have a chance. How are you guys with food and water? Can we survive for a couple of days, or are we in immediate risk of starving?
Arbok, how well was your ship stocked?
Well, it wasn't, like I said, it was mostly just either rations or like supplies just to keep it going, but nothing too valuable.
To keep it going. Jin, roll me a d20, please.
Alrighty.
Oh, not bad. You actually have enough supplies to last a couple days. Now, when you go to parts of the ship, or maybe where the canteen would be, or the location where the kitchen would be on the ship itself, it was, for the most part, damaged a lot. Part of it's buried in the sand. And you go to a couple of the crates or boxes or locations that would have the rations, you pull some out. Another section of that would be just gone. But you're able to get enough between the four of you to be able to survive traveling throughout this landscape for a couple of days.
Okay, well, we have some food there. I assume you don't have any issues with us taking it?
At this point, no.
Alrighty. So, how many days of field rations do we add each?
I mean, probably maybe enough to last a few days.
So essentially, we're going to go with each of you having 2. 2 days. 2 days worth.
Okay,
So 8 total.
I have 6. Excellent. Okay.
Since Lucar already has field rations, he'll give like the 2 to someone else, like Jin, Kane, I guess.
Well, I think we start with some. Like I have 6 currently.
Oh. Perfect.
After the 2, I have 12 now.
Whoa.
Oh, you can really survive out here for a while then. Fantastic.
Good. The real problem is water.
I will adjust my game. We're not going to Survival Simulator.
I'm fairly certain the field rations are like food and water.
Yeah, but it's both. I'll put it.
That's fair.
So, all of you get your supplies ready. You did find out that there was a signal out here somewhere. There's someone that's probably nearby, I would say, on the surface of the planet, looking for something. You're able to get that through the transmission for yourself, I would say, Kane. Now, as y'all position yourself outside the ship, ready to trudge on into a direction that you're going to want to go, time has passed on a little bit, maybe say about an hour or two, as you kind of scavenge through some supplies or whatnot. The storm has eventually dissipated. Not that it is just gone past the horizon that you can see, but eventually just, well, as a sandstorm would do, just stop. It just kind of faded away, leaving now the southwestern part of your view unobscured as the sand slowly eases on the visibility. And from there also, same thing. You're seeing no signs of civilization. And it's nearby is just out of view right now.
Yeah.
Well, we have our personal comms. I suppose I'll pick up on a signal once we get close enough. So I suppose we'll just pick a direction and start walking.
Can't we just put like a metal detector or something? Just ranks up a sound or something the closer we get to the signal.
That's
Is
a
that
very
possible?
complicated project, I do believe. That would require a specialized set of tools, which I can't speak for anyone else, but I do not have currently.
Now, I would say with that thought in mind, if you do travel in a direction and you just kind of lose the signal, it's because either if that signal is stationary, you're just getting far away from it, so you lose the signal. But if it's mobile in itself, the signal you have, if it just moves away, you're gonna lose signal. So it's a good idea, but not really well implemented right now.
I guess we just keep walking.
Yes.
All right, so the question I have is, what direction do you want to walk? Because right now it's essentially a gamble. It's not really a gamble, but it's essentially choose any direction and just go. There's nothing that's going to give more of a advantage of what direction you go right now, information-wise, I'll say.
I say we walk opposite of where the sandstorm went.
That would be directly, essentially, northeast.
I say, I don't think any. Actually, no, I don't think that would be a good idea because if that's the case, that's where the sandstorm was going from, meaning that probably nothing was going to be there anyway.
Yes, or we run into people who got affected by the sandstorm, and hopefully someone who got affected and has like help coming.
Yeah, but with the signal we have right now, it clearly did not mean like a distress signal.
It is
So
true.
it'd probably be one of the other sides of the storm that was going from.
How many
west or
suns is there in this system? Sorry.
You're seeing just one.
Okay. Does it rise like normally? From it rises in the east, sets in the west?
Essentially, yes. Standard. It's a standard planet in that sense, or standard system, I would say.
Well, if we don't have any other suggestions, I suggest we walk away from the sun. If nothing else, it will spare our eyes a little bit.
Like, yes.
That's a good point.
Very well.
I suppose we'll head west then, or southwest.
Mm-hmm.
So you're walking the direction that the sandstorm was traveling then.
Yeah, sure.
Just one of the sides. I say we just should just walk like on one of the sides of the storm. Like,
Well, he wouldn't. The storm was wide enough to where it was probably kilometers wide, hundreds of kilometers wide. So you're just going to be traveling the direction that it did go, but it was very, very far ahead of you by the time that you're going to start moving.
all right, then I guess we just go behind, go wherever.
Fuck it.
All right.
Let's just walk.
So all of you take the packs you have, you store your items, and you take one last look behind at the ship that is half buried in the surface of the planet, with debris all behind it as it did its journey onto, well, its crashed course.
I'll note down the GPS signals, like from the nav computer, so we can find the ship again. At a later time.
I think you mark the location. Be like a data pad or something like that.
Okay.
But
yeah,
you start to head off into that westernly direction. And you do traverse. Now, as you're going, as mentioned, the terrain for the most part is essentially all desert around you. There are some mesas off in the distant, scattered distance. And you travel for about 4 or 5 hours, when still, you're taking a decent amount of distance between yourself and the ship as you've been traveling. Terrain still, for the most part, staying the same. And you know you got enough rations on you to keep going, and for right now, you're not really doing any type of, I would say, stressful situations upon hand. When you do overhear the sounds of a engine, overhead is a atmospheric speeder that is traversing over the landscape. Now, not heading towards you, but it is heading in a direction also going westward.
I guess we follow that speeder.
Should we try to draw its attention in some way, perhaps?
I mean,
We could always shoot at it.
we don't want to shoot at
I
it.
was thinking more shoot into the air, but
Yeah,
I
exactly.
suppose that would work.
No, that would mean if. What if they think that we're just some sort of like, I don't know, Dune bandits or something?
Dune bandits would not so frivolously give away their position.
If they want to shoot something, yeah.
Disguise are not exactly a hard thing to hit.
Whatever you can shoot up.
Sure. I'll sort of quickly pull out my gun and just aim the pistol straight up in the air. Pew!
Lugar takes a shot as well. Few but bigger.
You do your shots in the air. Speeder just keeps on going.
Well, with the shot, I suppose.
Yes.
No pun intended.
Should we follow them?
More than likely.
Most likely.
Now, luckily, or how you want to look at it, it is traveling the direction you are going right now, which is also the same direction that the sandstorm was going before it decided to stop. The sandstorm decided to dissipate.
How far away is the speeder?
Very, I would say in terms of kilometers, probably about now maybe 2-3 kilometers away.
Okay. Well, not much we can do from here, so I suppose we just follow them.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it would seem.
Most likely.
So, with that in hand and in mind, you continue heading in the direction of west towards where the speeder is going. Now, you start to get towards nightfall. Being a desert, the climate does definitely change. Starts to get colder, starts to get a little bit of a breeze blowing through the dunes around. Temperatures dropping more and more. Those of you that aren't accustomed to it start to shiver pretty heavily when you start to see the first signs of, well, some type of civilization. You see lights ahead in the far distance, and they are what look like spotlights. They're illuminating the ground. And as you're walking more and more, because of the nature of the dunes and whatnot, you can't get a quite clear view yet, but you are seeing that there is a collection of them, and the way they're set up as you're at your position right now, I'm not going to say if you're going forward or not, but the advantage what you can get before having anything to possibly see you, or just being cautious, I would say, far enough away where it looks like it's a couple of spotlights, maybe 4 or 5 of them, that point inward. They're illuminating an area in the nighttime right now. And you also can hear the faint whine of machinery in the distance. Someone's out there. And they're within the next couple, I would say, minutes of travel. The question is, for all of you, is how do you wish to proceed forward?
So,
We could try to approach stealthily, but the problem is if they notice us, they might think we're trying to ambush them.
my plan was to just go up and talk to them. It's as simple as it not.
Yes, it is, and it might just work.
I mean, probably.
Concur.
And hey, if they do shoot at us, we don't have to feel guilty about fighting back.
Exactly.
Nice. Suppose. This one we don't have to, but unless.
Oh boy.
Okay, so I believe our plan is to just walk up.
Okay. So you start to walk forward towards the lights, and as you're getting close to going over more dunes, you're about one dune away before you see whatever these spotlights are looking at and the area. You hear the machinery now, and it sounds like the whine of generators and some mechanical equipment. You hear the chunk as something is, well, it sounds like it's digging something. And you can see some dust and dirt kind of be unshifted around the near vicinity as machinery is going about doing its business. Now, it's not a large operation just by the size. If this is going to be something that's going to have a lot of people here, or for what the size you're seeing, they're probably going to have maybe 3 or 4 people. So it's something actually relatively small as you're getting closer. But that's what you can gather before you actually venture over this last dune. So before we do that, I want one last opportunity if you all want to plan in some way, or just walk over and see what's going to be behind this hill.
Just keep walking for now.
I guess we just keep
Yeah.
walking.
All right. So you continue walking. You crest the last small dune, where you see the scene played out before you. It is essentially an excavation, a minor one. There is a small tug that's on the ground. It does have a postal lift, but it's currently off, so it's resting on the ground itself. There's a bit of a crane on the back of this skiff, and it is currently dislodging large amounts of sand by some Star Wars-y technology and moving it around. And essentially, it's a digging machinery, essentially what it is. Lights are around just to illuminate the area, and you see someone that is in the cab of this machine who is actually directing this this instrument to move around the material of the Earth. A couple other people that are essentially doing a perimeter around, looking very, very lazily. In fact, that when you crest the hill, they go, "Oh, wait, whoa, whoa, oh, dead people!" And you surprise them completely, even though you weren't trying to. They were not expecting anyone out here. And you watch as the one near individual that's closest to you does quickly raise a blaster in surprise before he trips backwards just from the debris around him, one of the cabling from the lights, and he just falls backward into the sand. And immediately you hear other people are starting to kind of yell as a minor alarm kind of gets set off as, well, they just got really surprised by the appearance of the 4 of you.
Whoa, now, hey, we're not looking for trouble.
I'll just yell out, "Are you well?"
Just state your business! We don't need no help! We don't want no trouble! We already have a permits for this dig!
We aren't bandits, if you're wondering. My ship crashed like miles away in sandstorm.
Yes, we are survivors from Telkin Station. If you heard what happened up there.
No, don't really pay attention to what happens out in space.
Well, it was blown up.
Oh, well. Okay. But
So we were just wondering if you perhaps could catch a ride back to the nearest village. We kind of need someone to fix up our ship.
oh, 1 second, let me get the boss over here. He'll talk to you.
Man, he likes to yell a lot.
You watch as this guy kind of runs towards the cab that has been continuing the operation. Right from the noise or just how, I would say, man, my mind is a blank today. How, I can't think of the word. His concentration on his task at hand. He has not essentially seen the events unfold. So this guy that's been talking to you runs over, starts essentially slamming his fist on the window of this excavator, and you hear the machinery kind of stop and the drill stop itself, and window opens up, and you see them kind of talk with each other, and this kind of heavy-set Rhodian comes out of the cab of this vehicle, and he starts coming over, he starts wiping some sweat off his brow and whatnot, and he looks at all of you and he goes, Blitzer told us you're looking for some people. Sorry, man, I am not doing good today. Good grief, yeah. I apologize, everyone. My game is off the charts right now. All right, let's get back in this. Get back to the moment. All right, I heard you're survivors from the ship that crashed over there. I tell you, flying through a storm like that's not a good idea. You're lucky to be alive.
Well, we didn't have a choice to fly through it. Our ship was already
We
falling.
mean don't have a choice. Of course you can fly around a thing. I know how a bloody spaceship works.
Well, you see, our engines were quite a bit damaged, shot to pieces. You see.
There
Yeah,
was
we
a scuffle outside the. Well, there was we had a problem outside in space, and our ship kind of got shot. Engines were starting to get fried and could not really maneuver well.
Local pirates?
No, we're not pirates.
No, not you. The ones that attacked you.
We're not sure. We didn't see any obvious markings on them, but they assaulted Telkin Station. They didn't loot it, they just shot it to pieces with 3 cruisers, so I'm guessing they're not pirates.
Oh, that's strange. Why would... Well, I guess you wouldn't know. Or would you know why they would destroy the station?
Yeah, I don't know. They weren't answering questions.
I haven't been there some time. Well, damn. Oh, I guess count yourself lucky if they're just still alive.
Oh yeah, definitely.
They were
We're just lucky we didn't go for the escape pods. They shot all of us down.
Really?
They were
That
not taking any prisoners.
sounds brutal.
No, yes, it was quite horrific.
Well, I imagine you want to get some, well, what's the condition of your ship?
Oh, Fuba.
It's not
Mobile?
unrepairable, but it's still face down in sand.
Well, I guess any crash you can walk away from would be a good crash, if you want to look at it that way. But I guess you're probably wondering if there's a nearby settlement. Well, obviously there is going to be a nearby settlement. Yeah, your boys are welcome to stick around a little bit while we get this job here finished, and you can come back with us.
Oh, thank you. That would be delightful.
I see no reason to turn down the hospitality.
Well, fantastic. Kissia, get this some water, all right? And you watch as one of the other humans that's with the group do get some containers for liquids and hands them out to all of you.
Ah, thank you.
Oh,
No, sorry.
Sorry, do you want to say something, Jane? Or Jen?
You seem quite alarmed when we first appeared. You often have problems, pirates and the like here.
Well, there's not many things around here, really. I mean, between the occasional sandcrawler that decides to take some things or sell some stuff, we've had minor amounts of disturbances. Really, it's the other corporations, the other mining operations that tend to, well, disrupt their neighbors.
Wait, did you say sand crawlers?
Oh, yes. Yeah, there's a few Java packs out here.
Oh no.
Is there another way it gets there here?
Thinking about that, how well did you hide your ship?
We can't really hide it.
Not at all.
Well, if you're looking to salvage it back, I suggest you do this faster as best you can then. But I'll say we didn't see any Jawas around here recently. I've been within this area for the last couple of weeks.
I'm curious, what is it you're digging for in the sand?
Oh, there's subreddits of some material down here. Has a peculiar nature to cause, well, it makes headaches go away.
Really, medicinal purposes.
A little bit. It's used for other stuff, but I'm able to sell to some traders up within the nearby market. But big operations down here have been gone for some time now. There's all small groups here.
I suppose let's find a new market then. Or perhaps send it to another system. If it was Telkin you were selling it at.
Oh, no. The stuff didn't go to, for some odd reason, once it leaves the planet, it stops being effective. It's really peculiar.
Oh, really? That's quite interesting.
Well, nothing much we can do right now.
Oh yeah, Zed, I don't want you to help out because if you don't know this machinery here, I don't want you to get yourself hurt. So if you want to, just well, how about this? I'll be here for about 2 hours to get this fixed and finished. You want to make sure nothing happens upon us? Just go and shout out. I don't know what your capabilities are, but if you survive the ship, I imagine you could probably do some other stuff. But yeah, we've had some people try to disrupt this operation here, so how about that? I take you back to the settlement once I'm done here. You to make sure no one sabotages our equipment.
Alright, I guess.
Yeah, sounds like a more than fair deal.
Ah, fantastic. All right, well, let's get this show started. I need to get this started before it gets even darker and dark before the damn worms show up. All right, I'll be back. And he trudges off and goes back to the cab of the excavator. And you hear the machinery whine again as it starts activating and starts to, again, dislodge the material, the sand, the dirt. And you realize that underneath the sand is a harder compacted earth, which the machine is mostly now starting to dig up.
Well, then I believe we have been stationed to keep watch for the meantime.
I assume so.
You see one of the guards that's next to you kind of turns your direction and goes, there's nothing to worry about. We haven't had anything happen here besides one of the local sandworms took Gianni over there. But we're too small to have any type of, well, distraction or just interest in the other people around here.
I see.
He just hates people that hang around do nothing. I'll tell you, once you get to the excavator, he will just keep his eyes on the prize, and you could sit there and steal from behind his back. You would not even know. Not that I've stolen from behind his back, but he gets really, really focused on his work.
I'm
Very
just gonna take a post along the perimeter then.
Suit yourself. As it is, I will never say anything bad about other people helping us out, so thank you. And he goes back to his corner of essentially this little small post, and again, they all look just kind of bored. They're not really expecting anything. That's why they're so surprised when all of you showed up.
All
So,
right.
Luca will plan on top of doing. Most of the players point.
Yeah, Kane will just sort of stand by in the meantime, just looking in case anyone seems like they need help or is in trouble, anything like that. Really.
Okay. Lucar, as you're up there, looking around. Now, again, looking around, there's nothing really to see around this place. The speed of the diff overhead has now been off for many, many hours. But you're able to relax a little bit. You still just hear the whine of the machinery behind you. Now, I want you to go ahead and give me a... notice. Give me a perception roll, please, Lucar. All right.
Hey.
As you're kind of just watching, you do notice that there's a bit of, well, the ground, the dune, starts to shift ever so slightly. The one that you're on.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Lucar starts walking away from the shifting.
As you step back from the dune you're currently on, you watch as the ground slowly sinks in on itself. And there at the edge, you see several small moths or mouths. And they're at the edge of the sand. Now, they're not coming up, not doing any type of aggressive activity, but you notice there's a collection, about a dozen, of these essentially mouths on the surface of the sand. And the mouths themselves are roughly about a foot in width. So you could put your entire foot inside if you so wanted. And they open up all around the dune you're on as you kind of stumble backwards off of it.
Monsters! And he runs back to Daniel. about monsters the entire time.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm just gonna arm myself.
Okay, just sort of once more as he pulls out his little blaster on his side.
All right, as y'all kind of get yourselves situated and ready with what Lucar has mentioned, it also gets the attention of the local 2 guards on your side of, I would say, the this illuminated place, and they all, what's going on? What do we see out there? As both of them kind of run up towards you, now with weapons brandished, Lucar. And it's the one that mentioned it. They come towards you, Lucar, and they look at you. What you see out there? Well, was there really something there?
Mouse, a lot. Think they might be sandworms.
Mouse, you say? In the sand, or?
How many did you see?
Yes. I think 20.
20,
There's
really?
a lot.
Oh, that's a big beastie. Ooh, you see, it's starting to get more excited, much more excited.
Oh,
Abby, that's a large one. Yeah, get it ready. Hey, you all, stand here. Stand right here. Get your guns ready. Point it in that direction. And he points towards the dune where essentially you ran from, Lucar.
Lucar pulls out his gun.
Oh boy, here we go again.
You see the other individual come running back over. And in his hand, he has what looks like a very, very, very large fruit. But it smells. And as he's running by, the fruit itself in his hand starts to kind of break a little bit from just his running. And some of liquids fall out of it that stain the ground and has a very, very unpleasant smell to all of your nostrils. And he comes running towards the top of the hill where the mouths were. And he places it very, very roughly, kind of smashing it onto the top of the dune. And you all hear it break, and even from the light that's coming from right now, it does splash around the area. And he goes, all right, I did it! And he starts running down the dune as fast as he can, when a lot of essentially mouths on a snake's body erupts out of the dune. And about a dozen of them. These are 1 foot thick snake-like bodies, the end in mouths. Now the end of those are still in the sand. So essentially you've seen a bunch of worms, in essence, come rushing out of the sand and start to hit the area that this giant ball of fruit was put upon. And the other guard with you goes, oh, all right, shoot! And he opens fire with his blaster at his side and starts to shoot all around. And yeah, what the rest of you do with this?
If you so insist, then I'll take a pot shot.
How far away is it?
It's roughly about maybe 30 paces away.
no, I'm not liking this. I'm gonna take a shot with my rifle.
Yeah, fuck it. I'll activate Saber Storm and start whacking him with the lightsabers.
Look, rolling terribly.
Kane, you start shooting, and your shots are just hitting the sand, and nothing's really happening. Lucar, you start letting off some shots with your heavy pistol or your heavy blaster, and it starts striking the snake-like bodies, and when a bolt or any type of weaponry hits it, immediately it stands straight up in the air, and essentially stick like a stalk, like it's frozen. Now, Arbok, same thing with you. You start to shoot around, and you also kind of miss them because they're flying around like, I don't want to say tentacles, but they're kind of flying around like that a bit. And you do miss. Kind of your bolts are striking in the sand nearby, and all you're rolling really fucking bad. Jin, you do the same thing. You throw in your lightsabers to essentially the surprise of the other guys around you right now, and your sabers just go through the sand, hit some of the bodies. And after a few minutes, one of the stalks remains in the air, while the rest of them essentially retract back into the dune.
So what is
The guy nearby goes, "Really? Just one? Well, I guess it'll do. Oh, thank you, thank you." And he nods with a happy face at all of you. And he rushes over to the stalk that's now up in the air. And he pulls it out of the ground. And essentially it's a thick foot section that is in length about 8 feet. And he heaves it over his shoulder and starts walking back towards all of you. So think of it like a giant log on his shoulder.
What the devil is that creature?
What? This is lunch.
Oh.
Oh god.
Ew.
These things are tasty. I guess you've never seen them before by your surprise. And he goes over and he throws it like you would a log on top of the bed of the skiff.
And how exactly do you prepare one of these beasts?
I bet over a fire. They had a weird tendency to freeze up like this when they get hit by weapons. And the beasts in the ground, well, they tend to be a bit big. They leave them behind. So we use them for food.
Oh, so this is all one creature then?
Oh, yes. They're quite big. Really, really docile, though. They like to eat bugs. Every now and then, someone will get a foot stuck inside them. Get a bit teared up, but you won't lose a foot at all.
Yeah.
I see.
At least we know they're not terrible.
I'll say it's an acquired taste. Is at that point you hear the machinery behind you, the excavation machinery, stop.
Oh.
You see the large heavyset rodent get out. He starts walking over and goes, "Ah, we got one!" And he starts to move some material into this kind of like crate or bucket he has there with him. And after all this work that he's been doing, he essentially has a bucket at the end of it that is about a foot in width, a foot in height, cube. And he sticks that on the skiff and he goes, "All right, we're done here. All right, you boys, get on the skiff. We'll take you back to the settlement we come from."
Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
Very well. I have no objections to this proposal.
I guess not.
So as you're moving back, he sets the drill back into the store's position. And you all hear and feel the repulsive lift engines kick on the skiff. It rises up in the air. All of you pile into the back with the rest of his compatriots. And it does a slow turn and starts zooming off into the west.
Yeah.
Oh, very well then.
I guess we're just right here.
Okay, so before we move on to the next scene, we arrive at the settlement. Was anything anyone wish to do?
Not in particular, no. Kane will just sort of keep watch in the meantime, sort of a little bit confused by all this.
So I'm curious, Luca. From what you've been saying, it seems like you haven't left your planet much. What brings you to Avak spaceship and later this planet?
Yeah, why were you on Telkin Station? Let me ask that.
Well, you see, my people don't really like me too much anymore. So I just left.
Was it I did it kick you out or?
A little bit.
And
It's a messy situation.
well, I apologize if I brought up bad memories.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. What about you, Jin?
Well, I've been
Fancy stick things.
fancy stick things. I suppose that's one way to call it.
Are you not familiar with the Jedi or any such like that?
Jedi? What's a Jedi?
Yeah, they're not that rare. They're very, very common right now.
Right now? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that
On a
couple
backwater
of stuff.
planet?
Ah, okay. Well,
I do.
I can ask you, what places are you from if you haven't heard about us? I'm sure you don't see us every day, but
It's a place called Fintar. It's very homely planet. Real lush. And yeah, about it. I don't really know many people outside my family, as you would call it.
And how large was this family exactly?
Oh, a few dozen.
I see.
well, in any case, the fancy stick, as you called it, is a lightsaber, a plasma generator above a focusing crystal that channels it. It is the primary weapons of the Jedi, a order which I belong to,
Nice.
based on Coruscant, the Republic capital.
Of course. Well, yeah, can't say I've seen one of those in person yet. It's real fancy though. Is it cut well?
What did I say?
Does it cut well?
Oh, yeah, counts extremely well.
That is putting it lightly, I believe.
Yes.
Well, that's
Not
good.
anything but it's another lightsaber or Beskar, but a fucking Mandalorians. It will cut right through.
Perfect.
I would say
Sounds
to
real
you,
convenient.
that sounds very, very unbelievable. I would say. Yeah, have you actually never seen a Jedi? Before, a lot of things you're probably hearing from him right now or her sound kind of ridiculous.
Seems like
Of course, the lightsaber is only a small part of what makes the Jedi. The primary thing is the utilization of the Force. The
Oh, you're one of those. Yeah, okay. I know who you. Okay. Yeah, I've heard you guys. Your fancy space magic and stuff. Okay. Heard a few tales.
yes.
I have a rather extensive history, to put it lightly.
Yeah, so what brings you here? Like, I seem to recall said something about a disease, but are you a doctor by trade? Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct, I am a doctor and a researcher, although I'm a bit of a cosmopolitan, I suppose.
I'll just act like I know what that word means, but
It means one who dabbles in many things, I suppose.
Ah, yes.
And
You seem quite. You seem
eat a
to
lot of
be.
things?
I have approximate knowledge of many subjects, yes.
Oh.
Yes, it seemed like you knew quite a lot when it came to both repairing and even piloting.
Yes, that is something that I've picked up in my handful of years of travel.
So what about you, Mr. Tall, Dark, and Silent?
Yeah. Well, I was only there. Well, in the beginning, I was only here for the thing. Well, for a job. I had a pitch for like I had a rumor that there was a potential like someone who was looking for some protection work, and I was only just stopping by Katina to maybe either look for them or just get a refresher. And then the entire station decided to go under. And
Yes.
it ended up here.
Yes, I must say, quite rude of the people.
I am curious as to who they are, but I suppose that is a question best left for another time.
They're most likely dead already if they're on that station.
I'm referring to the attackers.
Oh, those? I don't know them.
Yes.
I'm guessing the question is probably no, but just now to ask, did you recognize their ships, Luca?
Sorry, what was that, Jin?
I was wondering if you recognized the attackers, their ships, their designs. I'm guessing the question is probably no if you haven't left your planet, but doesn't hurt to ask.
Well, you'd be correct. They look like spaceships. So that's about all I got.
Fair enough.
That is correct. They were most certainly spaceships.
That is a fancy pistol you have there. Is that from your home planet, or did you pick it up after you left?
That it is. It's yep, special. It's special to our to my family. We homemade, you could say.
Oh, is your family arms manufacturers?
It comes with the territory. We're like, I don't know, backwater planet such as ours. You gotta fend for yourselves, make your own stuff, especially when you're in our line of work.
Yeah, I suppose that would make sense. Where is your planet located? Is it here in the Outer Rim, or?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, pretty sure it's outer rim. It might be mid rim. Somewhere in between.
Sounds like a rather odd planet, I must admit.
Yeah, but it seems the Outer Rim in general is just kind of odd. Although, honestly, I wouldn't really know. I've spent most of my life on Coruscant.
That's alright, proper shithole, that one is.
Yeah, I don't know. The temple was kind of nice. Didn't really see much of the city, honestly. Spent most of the time in there.
Makes sense, I suppose.
Is Coruscant nice? How are the plants there?
If you are rich, yes. Otherwise, no, not really.
Well, you see, you have cities, and then more cities, all filled with people.
Oh.
I believe it's quite honestly the most heavily populated city in the galaxy. Or planets. Oh, I think we lost him.
Oh no, he's gone.
Oh shit.
I think so. Oh, I think he died. I think he
NASA,
died.
NASA fucking died. Up, he's back.
Ah, he lives!
I missed what
The boy lives. Uh-oh. Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good, you?
I'm alright. You come here often?
Good meme, good meme. That's why I don't know how to respond. Oh, coming off guard, man.
I think that's a fan we can hear in the background from Hurst.
Probably.
Oh, let me turn that off then. It's off.
Yes. Like I said, lots of people. I do believe Coruscant might be the most heavily populated city in the galaxy. By quite a fair margin.
Correct. It is has a rather disproportionate gap between the those that are on the upper levels and those that are on the lower levels.
Lower levels? You mean like society?
No,
No, it's quite...
a tier city, I believe, is the technical term. That's essentially a city built on top of a city, built on top of a city, so on and so forth.
Yes.
Well, that doesn't sound very smart.
Well, you see, it's quite out of room. It's an econopolis. The whole planet is one very, very large city.
Wait, do you mean like there's no plants?
Well, that's because there are greenhouses, and in the upper of the top of the place, you might find a couple of gardens here and there. But otherwise, no plants.
Most of its
What's
food
that?
is exported from off planet.
Yes, I believe if imports were to shut down, the planet would be quite fucked, honestly.
Huh.
It really feed itself.
That doesn't sound very smart.
It works decently, at least for those with money.
Sounds like you have a problem with that, Kane.
To an extent, yes, I have problems with those who have the ability and the capacity to help others, but do not.
Well, I'd hope we all would.
Yes, that is a trait that is sadly lacking nowadays.
But yes, like I said, it is a capital, so most people want to move there. Whether it's a good move into politics or tourism or whatever. But I suppose it wouldn't, hurt if a couple of 100 million people were to move off the planet.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yes, it's honestly, I'm not sure of the complete census, and I don't think anyone in the galaxy knows the complete census, but a couple 100 billion, maybe I'll live there. And it's 5,000 levels.
5,000? I thought you just meant a couple. How they do? Would it crush it? Crush the lower ones, or how?
I believe the materials they use are quite durable, but I'm not an architect, so I can't say with complete certainty.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure these things should probably last 3 minutes or so it doesn't stretch out too long.
That's the last part I'm actually putting in right now. I typically sit back and let players. I've had players role play games for hours on end, but like I said, if any one person thinks they should move forward, let me know and I'll move forward. So if everyone's okay with RP happening for how long it is, I'm fine with it. But if only one person wants to move forward, I'll move forward. So with that, we'll move forward. So in the midst of the conversation you've been having, you had the time to obviously talk as we go on. Been about 2 hours now. In the far distance, you see the signs of civilization. You're seeing the glow lamps of a community, not very, very advanced because there's not very, very tall structures. They're all mostly 1 or 2 level structures. Nothing that even looks like a spaceport because they tend to be a very, very large building for that matter. It seems to be a collection of smaller buildings, a community in essence. And as you're getting closer, the size of it makes it about to be maybe 400 or 500 people that will live here. And as you're getting closer and closer, you're starting to see the details. Technology level is not that high. Again, you don't see anything that would stand out to be extravagant when it comes to technology or just any spaceport for that matter. But one thing does stand out. The garb, what everyone kind of wears, is typical to the environment. That being garments to cover themselves from the sand, the dust, and everything, as well as very, very rugged clothing. As you get closer, you see something that stands out. You're seeing a couple of transports, and they stand out in the sense that they are all wearing very, very bright, clean, white clothing. Almost in essence like a doctor, and this stands out mostly to you, Kane. They, for everyone, stand out, but to Kane, they look like almost researchers or scientists. And there's a group of them that are at the edge of the town walking around next to these very, very clean vehicles. But with no essential question from the roving driver of your skiff, he does drive past all of them into town.
So, you want those fellows exactly, and also just point to them from the distance.
Oh, they come here every now and then. They're looking around. We got some people here that get sick, and I believe they're local doctors, or not local, but they come here and help us out every now and then. Don't quite know where they come from, but they sure do give us a hand.
Do they have a name?
Doctors? That's just what they call themselves.
Fair enough, I suppose.
Alright, structure's up ahead. With that, we can part ways, and again, I hope you boys can get your ship back and be out in the stars. He does park the skiff into a, not tall, but a bit of a wide structure. And the garage opens up, and you see another skiff inside that is partly dismantled. Another drill on top of that one. And he does park his skiff into this garage, essentially. He goes, "All right, the rest of you get out. Clean this thing up, get all the sound out of the engines. Out of the circuitry! And at this point, the Rodian turns to the four of you and goes, well, where do we go from now? Good luck.
Thank you very much for the help. I'm
Alright.
curious, what is your name? We didn't actually get introduced, I believe.
Oh, my manners. What the holy hell. My name is, Telkin.
Well, thank you, Tatin. I'm Jin.
Nice to meet you, Jin. You know what? I'm not really used to talking to new people. So I guess I should get names from everyone. Jin, nice to meet you. You a big lizard guy. Sorry. Tradition, what's your name?
Arva.
Nice to meet you, Arvak. And he looks at you, Lucar.
Lucar?
No, nice to meet you also, Lucar. And he looks at the last individual. He looks at you, Kane.
Kane. Kane Utelli.
No, Kane, nice to meet you also.
Fuck, I keep clicking on those by accident.
Do you want to use that?
No, I'm just clicking on it by accident because I'm a fucking brainlet.
Okay.
Oof.
He goes, yeah, if you ever need anything dug up, or, you know, if you need your ship dug up, my drill sir can definitely do that. But I'm going to go ahead and get my prize and get my payday now. All right, to Jin, Kane, Arvak, and Lucar, it was a pleasure. And with that, he steps away and starts yelling at his staff. Well, he starts yelling, directing his staff.
As he walks away, I'll say this and that language.
Oh. Whoa.
I'm sorry, did you say something?
I'm just wishing him good luck, I suppose.
He is. I understand him.
Oh, you could. Tell me, was he insulting us?
No?
Ah, dang it.
What?
You see Kane and Rodian start to exchange a bit of talk.
Alright, I guess we shouldn't lack any time since my ship could be at any time ransacked by Jawas. We need to get them out as soon as possible.
Assuming it hasn't
Yes.
already been, that is not a terrible idea.
The problem is, of course, that's how we're gonna pay for it. I don't know about you all, but frankly, I do not have that much in the way of credits.
I only have a few credits for my last job.
Deception? Seduction? I don't know, there's a few ways.
I have a
Favors?
number of credits on me, although I do not believe it would be a substantial amount.
I do not know what your experience is with prostitution, but I do not think they pay enough to repair a spaceship. Unless you're
I
very
said nothing of
talented.
the sorts.
I say we just find the person who can repair it first, before we
Yeah.
get into matters of paying it.
Yeah, true. I suppose if we can get the ship, then we can just see about getting the funds for repairing it. We probably also need to find some place to sleep. I've been walking for quite a few hours.
Well, yeah, we'll start at the garage. We might as well just talk to them.
Yes.
That good.
Yeah, well, lead on.
By all means, go for it.
I mean, I try and go find where in the garage seems to be like the man in charge.
He bows.
All right. Ooh, got that number. All right. So you look out in the garage. So the garage itself is actually locally for the Rodian. So he is his own essentially boss and the owner of the garage. If you want to find another type of mechanic, you actually have to start looking around. Yeah, so the building you're in is large enough to hold his two skiffs, the one you're on and the one that's in here being rebuilt or repaired or whatever it is, as well as a bit of a small warehouse and most likely his home.
Alright, I guess we don't look here anyways. I guess we have to look around the town now.
Seems so. Shall we split up?
Perhaps, yes. I have something that I would like to attend to as well.
Hmm.
Oh,
Well,
right.
I'm mostly wanting to look for how to repair my ship.
I was
So,
thinking maybe we could go and talk to those doctors that we saw earlier. They seem like they come and go. They might have an idea.
maybe they seemed a bit more out of place.
All right, so since we're doing a bit of a split of the party, for me to keep track of this and to do this in a way that's not going to have someone be out of the game, I want everyone to go ahead and type in chat what you're going to want to do, or kind of like the goal of you want to split, which is like said, one of you wants to go see a doctor, one of you wants to go find a mechanic. If you want to follow someone doing that, or if you want to do your own thing, let me know in chat, and I'm going to go this briefly. Typically, when it comes to splitting the party, I tend to not want to do it because of the fact that I don't leave groups kind of out of the action. But if we do it, I'll try to do it in a fashion that is kind of quick and not gonna have people just kind of sitting there for a while.
Makes sense.
All right.
But so I can do this in a structured way. I want everyone to go ahead and write down what they want to look for in this moment, or what they want to do essentially.
All right. Oh shit, that's still in Rhodian. Hold on, wait.
Still,
Uh,
That's still Rhodian.
yes,
I
I
mean,
concur, Kane.
you can still read it, so I guess it'd be fine.
He's looking for a Rhodian sleeping place,
Uh,
only for Rhodians.
no.
Okay, so it makes it easy. Lukar, you go around and you find some various established places, essentially like, I don't want to say like a tavern, but a cantina that would accommodate people that come in. Now, what you do figure out, just by talking around Lukar, is that some people do come to this place for the fact that there is mine operations, old ones, that were left essentially with the earth excavated, and some corporations, some small ones or local ones, come by and go to the old sites to try to find materials that was either left behind or wasn't needed by the large operations when they were in operation years ago. And so there are accommodations around the place to sleep, so you can find one easy enough.
Perfect.
Now, when it comes to you, Arbok, you are going around, and there's going to be several mechanics around here. Now, the thing is, you find a mechanic, and the biggest situation is they don't really have expertise to repair a starship. They can repair a speeder, they can repair a speeder bike or a swoop. When it comes to the craft of a spaceship, no one here locally has that kind of experience.
Well,
The best they can say is, well, either steal a ship or buy one, or fix it yourself. I mean, I'm not really going to go out there to your ship to take a look because I can't do it myself, for one thing. Do you know the difference between a land speeder and a spaceship? It's vast. It's big. I repair one of these things, you go to space, you'll all die. You ever try to drive out in space? It don't work.
yeah, I get it. I get it. All right. Thank you anyway.
Now, if you're looking for a mechanic that can do that, there is a facility here on the planet that can accommodate your ship. One of the old remaining ones, I think it's one of the last ones left for the large corporations that would take the materials up and down from orbit. It's it's Kissia. It's up to the north.
Or, all right, I'll keep that in mind.
Here you're just gonna find local people, but there is a bit of a. I know down a bit to the south there's a junkyard. I mean, you might find something down there, but if it's junk, it probably ain't gonna fly either. But who knows? You go there to excavate parts every now and then.
Right. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. But if you got anything that needs repaired that can stay on the surface of the planet, I can do.
All right. I guess I tried to find the other two. That's been looking at those doctors.
All right, Jin and Kane. When you go looking for the doctors, now you're looking for a local doctor or these doctors that stood out?
The fancy out of town doctors.
Defense out of town doctors, fantastic. All right, I do need to send one message to someone real quick. Let's go and do
for it.
this. Oh, okay, I didn't save it. I need to send one thing to one person real quick. All right, let's send that to you. Okay, so Jin and Kane, as you are moving back towards the edge of this town, which by the way actually has a name, I should actually told you all before, which is actually done. I thought I mentioned the name, or did I not?
I don't think you mentioned the name of this town. No.
Yeah, I don't think so. You could have, but I don't think so.
All right, it's Plita. So Plita is the name of this place.
We're stuck on Pluto. I can't believe
Not Pluto, Plita. All right, so as you two go towards the edge of the town, where you saw the very, very clean doctors, I would say, you get into a tent that has been risen up, and you see that there's a group of them. There's about a dozen of them, and they're talking to the various locals of Plita. And these individuals are essentially at the tent. There's a small line, and as you get near, you notice that, well, a lot of the people in line are a little bit sick. There's various coughing going on. Some of them are on crutches or being held up by a loved one or a family member or whatnot. But none of them in line, there's about maybe 20 or so in line, don't look that well. Not like they're at death's doorstep, but they just seem a bit sick. And all for what you're kind of gathering before you step forward or before you interact with these doctors, they seem to be getting help from the local doctors here.
so. Sort of just looking through the line, sort of look at the doctors. Excuse me, is there anything that I can do to be of assistance here?
You see one of the doctors that you're talking to kind of look up at you, and it's a human individual. Again, he's got very, very clean clothing, and he's got a data pad in his hand. He looks at you and he goes, no, if you're sick, though, get in line. We'll take a look at you when you get to the front.
No, I'm a doctor from out of the system. I came here to look into all of this.
We'll look into this here.
Originally, yes, I came to look at this version of the disease.
No, there's no disease here. It's just these people are sick. And we're coming here to attend to them. We have a bit of an operation to go around the various settlements on Bimil and just help out the folks we can. But I can assure you we have everything under control, and if we need any help, I'll let you know.
And who are you all exactly, if you do not mind me asking? I don't quite recognize your uniform.
Well, that's because we're a bit new here. Yeah, we work for the Telina Corporation.
Have I heard of this corporation?
Go and give me a lore roll.
Fair enough.
Ooh,
So let's see, lore, you say.
can he do it?
17.
You have not.
Sort of just like cock my eyebrows slightly. I don't believe I'm familiar with that regiment. Are they new? Something?
Relatively
the name is
new.
unfamiliar to me.
Relatively new. Damon Telina. He's actually a very, very well-known doctor in Coruscant. He's had some friends out here in the Outer Rim helping out, trying to get his name well known. He's wanting to start a business. He wants to move on to some of the outskirting regions here and show our name and, try to help out what we can to the Outer Rim, which is why we're here.
As you said that name, could I roll to see if I recognize him? If it's like a big shot Coruscanti doctor?
That you can.
No, I do not know. Apparently. Oh, that was investigation, not law. But it's the same bonus, so.
Yeah, you don't quite recognize the name Damien Telina.
Oh, fair enough. I have no reason to believe they're lying, so.
Could I make the check in that case?
If it would be relevant to your character, yes.
Well, I'm a doctor, sort of studying.
Then that would definitely be
He
relevant.
never spent super long on Coruscant, but he spent a bit there. But even then, if this guy's supposed to be super famous or something, ooh, not one. No, I don't know shit.
You have heard of Damien Talina?
The name sounds familiar, but do you all have a way to get off this planet? Me and some associates of mine were stranded here after an accident.
No. Our ship, unfortunately, we can't take any people. We don't take anyone with us to orbit. We have a ship up there, but I know there's some communications around here on Plita. You can probably contact any local services or any other ships. I believe if you talk to Telkin Station, there's always people there looking for operations or even business.
Well, we got some trouble with that. You see, we just came from Telkin Station, or rather, its remains.
What do you mean remains?
It was attacked, shot to pieces.
A station was attacked.
Oh yes, 3 cruisers killed everyone. We were quite lucky to escape with our lives.
You see that he immediately turns to one of his companions next to him who was diagnosing or looking at another woman, and he whispers something to her. And after a few moments, she apologizes to her patient, and she steps away and goes to one of the other tents that's nearby one of the vehicles. And he goes, "Oh, that's most unfortunate. I didn't realize that happened. You're the first one to tell me that any situation has happened here. Very, very interesting." And as this goes on, before going further, Lucar, you found the place you want to go to rest. Are you wanting to go there, or you want to go look for the people, or what do you want to do now?
I just want to. I'll try to acquisition a few rooms.
Okay. Easy enough. They do require essentially 5 credits per head that's going to stay within one of the accommodations here at this establishment. One of the various establishments.
Well, I'll give them the money and get a room.
All right. Now, as you get in the room, I want to hear what Arbok. Arbok, said you want to get back to the group?
Yeah, I'm trying to head back to Jin and Kane.
Okay. You do come back to the group of Arbok and Kane as they're talking with the doctors. Now, as you're coming up Arbok, you're starting to see that there's a grouping of people that's coming up that are, well, it's a bit of a large crowd that's coming up to the group of doctors.
Huh. Alright then. I mostly try and get to the Jin and Kane.
Arvak, did you have any luck in finding a mechanic?
The only port that will be able to repair my ship is Kishia. It's like north of here.
Perhaps you could give them a call then, to see, perhaps you can contact the mechanics to stop there. They wouldn't have to travel to the city. Did you have...
have a
yes.
technology.
You never know. Do you have, what's it called, Lucas' common number? You can perhaps call him. I think if he's going to look for rooms, perhaps he has found some.
I mean, not really, because, the only time we interacted was on the ship.
You're very correct. Okay, well, in case, here's my number, and in case we need to get into communication with each other, I'll give you the number for my comlink.
Dude, you just got a chick's phone number. Nice.
What do you, Ken? What's your number?
Oh, yes. Very well, then I suppose it makes sense here. And he sort of quick, passes it out, basically.
Excellent. Thank you.
Kane sort of turns towards one of the people, hopefully a little bit away from one of the doctors, and says, "So how exactly did they all treat you, if you do not mind me asking?"
Just about you. All right, you're talking to which person?
Just anyone that's in the crowd, any one of the people that's seemingly wanting to get treated.
I've been sick for a little bit now. I mean, we have local doctors here, of course, but these just look so much better, and they've helped out a few people here, and so I've had this cough for the last couple weeks. I guess that's the last thing I can really do is see if they can help out with this thing.
And do you know anyone else who has gone to these people? How popular do they seem to be?
How what?
Popular.
How popular?
Yes.
No one's really popular. We're just coming here to see if we can get better.
Have they had any luck in this endeavor?
Some have. Some got a little bit worse, but for the most part, I don't know. I guess it's they say it's something to deal with the equipment we have around here. There's been some fighting because of it. So I know some of the mechanics have been up against what they're saying. I mean, I know it's a big mess that's going on right now.
Very well. Thank you for your time.
Yeah. And you notice again that like everyone here is a bit sick. Everyone's a bit coughing. Now, as you were talking to this individual, you start to hear from behind you is a bit of commotion, and you're starting to hear some yelling. You're starting to hear a bit of anger and rising voices, and you see that the doctors look up from their operation at this tent, and they look a bit startled. And they all kind of step back a little bit, and they quickly start to move back towards their vehicle when a essential mob of people step forward from the various alleyways and buildings around this kind of area that the doctors have been using, and they're yelling at all of you, at the doctors, at the line, the crowd, and you're hearing a various amount of differences going, "Yeah, you did this! You brought this stuff here! Why are you doing this? You know it's not the damn vehicles!" And it's people essentially arguing, yelling about the vessels, about the vehicles, about the sickness that's going around. Some are going, "You're the one that did this! Nothing happened until you all showed up! It's not too convenient!" And there's commotion from this mob, which is about 30 people in size right now, and they all are kind of brandishing a bit of weapons.
Oh.
A couple have blasters. Most of them, though, carry miscellaneous bludgeoning weapons, that being a wrench, a pipe, a club. And you notice that these people that are in line have mixed reactions. Some are going, "Oh, go back, that's not even your business, you're not even sick. These people have been treating us for the last couple of weeks now, what do you want?" And they're arguing back and forth. And you're noticing that the mob, in its size, 30, now about 35, they're starting to move on towards the crowd, all of you being with that crowd, with the doctors. As this is happening, what do all of you do with this?
Yeah, no, I'm dissociating with them immediately because I don't have the fancy white robe things.
Also, to just look over towards the mob and be like, whoa, everyone, there's no need to get so up in arms about this. I'm sure that there's misunderstanding or something like that.
Only big kind of misunderstanding. You're not even from, I don't recognize you. You're not even from here. Little pretty boy, think you know what's going on? Who the hell do you think you are?
I am Kane Utelli.
And that's supposed to mean something? No, you're here with these people, aren't you? You're here doing this. They're lying. These people are lying about what's going on here. And this man talking, obviously he's going to be the leader of this group. And with his just emotion and his anger that's going on, it's causing his mob of people to get angrier and angrier.
Yeah, no, I'm just backing away from this situation. I'm not getting bashed in the head.
Sir, please calm down. Like, you say these doctors are lying. Like, what are they lying about? We just got here. We have no idea what is going on here.
Yes,
It's all the stuff they're lying about. They say our vehicles. We've been mining here in this settlement for generations. My father was here. His father was here. None of this stuff ever happened. No, this has all been recent, and then they showed up. It's too easy. You think we're some dumb hick people because we're on a backwater world? No, no, no. And you're seeing the doctors at this point. They've actually, from their vehicles, they're not armed themselves, but there are now armed guards that are standing next to and in front of them. And you can hear the doctors go, sir, we're just trying to help out. We know there's a sickness here. We're trying to help out. And you see that him talking about this is just making the mob angrier.
Listen.
They're about to move forward. And again, you're seeing the confusion with the people in line. Some are going, get back, we're just trying to get help. Other ones are wanting to actually protect the doctors because they're wanting to get help. And so a couple of them are actually standing in front of the doctors. And it's getting more tense and more tense as they're getting angry and angrier. Arvok, what are you doing about this?
What can I do? I'm just backing away. I'd rather not get shot.
Arvik pulls out his
Now, for the most part,
fucking
a lot of
LMG.
weaponry. So you notice the doctors. The doctors' guards all have heavy blasters. All of the mob have, for the most part, very, very few blasters. In fact, maybe only one has a blaster rifle. The rest of them have, such as I mentioned, clubs. A couple have blaster pistols. But even though the mob vastly outnumbers the doctors and the guards are very, very heavily armored compared to the mob.
And who says they can't associate us with the mob?
I'll stay there. I won't light it up, but I'll use force pull that I can draw the lightsaber out into my hand from my back. And look, there's no reason for this violence here. If everyone just calm down, I'm sure we can settle this nicely.
Go give me an initial persuasion roll.
Okay, let's see.
Hey.
Damn.
Damn, bitch.
This guy.
All right. Well, this individual, this is a very, very tall, very, very well-muscled human who's kind of leading this group. And he looks at you, and he looks you up and down, Jin. And seeing that you're actually not part of the doctors, you just arrived, he looks at you, and you know he doesn't let his anger stop. He does seem a bit different that he pauses, I guess, with his action. Still angry what's going on in the situation, but seeing that you're new here, he looks in the direction and he goes, look, these men are lying. We've been here. I've been here. What I said was true. None of us have been sick like this, and it's too damn convenient with them showing up. This is not right. They look out of place. They are out of place. Nothing here. We just want these men to leave. Our doctors here can help our own townsfolk. Them, they're not doing anything to help out. You hear people going, no, they've helped out, and it's just getting more and more. But you have his attention right now. So Jen, how do you want to proceed forward? Or the rest of you, how do you want to proceed forward?
Listen, I understand your reservations towards outsiders. It is only natural to be skeptical. I'm not gonna ask that you have to, accept it or like it or even like them. I'm just simply asking that for those who are already afflicted, let them see to them. It's better for them, I believe. They don't seem to want to go to your doctors for a reason I can't really say why, but it's what they want. If that is what they want, then please allow it.
And still, even if the doctors are the ones doing this, getting a bunch of people shot won't help anything. Like, anything should be settled with words, not with violence.
Okay, give me a persuasion roll, please.
Oh boy, I'm really good at that. No, I'm not. I lied. I'm sorry for tricking you.
We have a good deception score then, if not a good persuasion score.
So let's see. Persuasion. Okay, not bad, not bad.
They just look too different. Our doctors, our people here, we've been treating the injuries, the wounds, the sickness that we would get from anything else that would happen here, the chemicals on the surface of the planet. But nothing has been like this until they've showed up, until this new cough has shown up.
Well, look, we heard some words about a disease here, and it seems doctors from all over the galaxy came here to try to cure it. It could very well be that they came here because of the new disease. They know the cause of it. They're trying to fight it.
You're seeing one of the individuals next to this large man. He goes, "Hey, look at the weapons, man. If we try something here, we're gonna hurt a lot of people. Why the hell would doctors have that kind of equipment anyways?" And he looks over the rest of you and he looks at the guards that the doctors have. And he goes, "Let's go! Let's go!" And he gives a last look at the three of you before he kind of pushes the mob against their own actual will. They want to do some action here, but talking with the group of you and what's been going on, he does push the group back and eventually lead the mob away from the staging area.
Once the mob's out of earshot, I turn to Kane and Avak. Although they did have a point, it's quite suspicious for a group of medical officers to be so heavily armed. It very well could be something's going on here.
Oh, it is possible, perhaps, although
I
it
mean,
is also not
probably.
uncommon for locals to take offense to such measures, although it is, as I mentioned, possible that something's afoot.
True. Well, shall we perhaps seek out Lucar and see about his rooms?
Yeah, speaking of that, look, are you here?
That I am.
I sent you a few messages and I got nothing from that.
Oh, well, I mean, they were doing their thing. I was just waiting for my,
You didn't hear the ring when I sent the message to you?
in Discord?
Every time I send a message, it should have a sound play, like right now.
No, I did not hear the ring. Let's see.
okay.
I might have things.
All right, I'll just call you. I'll message you next time. I send you a message then.
Yeah, Ring on Whisper is on. Like, yeah. Okay, thanks, game.
That's weird. Okay, next time I'll just send you a message. Or I'll tell you I sent you a message.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't realize you were sending messages either. Yikes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, Lucar is just. I mean, he'll like. I guess he'll like go and see what's going on. I guess. Go.
Okay. Well, maybe you follow the model or whatnot, but essentially this group that they've been dealing with is the group that you saw.
Okay.
You don't mind if I take a 5 minutes break?
Sure.
Just need to grab something quick to drink and something.
We'll take our official intermission right here.
Oh man.
So, we have a little pause. Does everyone have any questions?
Nah, I'm good for now.
What's the like time frame in the Star Wars universe? Like where are we set right now again?
This is essentially about 3,000 years before the movies.
Okay.
Yeah. From what I have set up, this is directly after. So I'm not doing right now. I'm going a bit. The way I'm going to do this game is I'm going to start inward and then move outwards. So that's what you're kind of seeing. That's why I haven't really mentioned anything faction-wise, besides the one faction that attacked you guys, which you don't understand or know who they are. But this game, in the time frame of Star Wars, takes place after the Sith invaded the space, and there was a truce signed between the Jedi and the Sith to not fight in. This is about, I think, 3 or 4 years after that truce or that treaty has been signed.
Like racial Sith or like evil Sith?
The Sith Empire.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But I'm still detailing on how I want to set it up, so this actually might change. That's why I haven't really got into it. It's gonna be around either that or the before after the Mandalorian events.
Okay.
Because I don't want to make a full decision until I get the full group here, because obviously we see we're down one person.
Yeah.
So between Mandalorians or the Sith, how I'm gonna deal with it or what I'm gonna do. So that's still I'm thinking about right now.
Okay.
All right, and I'll do a slash ready in chat for when all are good to go.
Oh boy.
so we're all back now. Alright, where do we leave off?
We had. Oh, sorry. There you go.
They have successfully deterred the crowd from going into a full-on mob.
Yep.
And then we started going to look for our missing friend. I'm using the term missing very lightly here.
That's where Lucar just showed, because Lucar was essentially looking at the group of people, following them, see what's going on, and Lucar, as you were... Well, yes, I don't want to talk for your character. Were you following the group, or were you doing Lucar as this was happening?
Yeah, slowly following them, like just hovering around, seeing what's going on.
Okay. So you did see this mob, and you watched Lucar, and the mob got bigger and bigger, as, again, it was the same kind of commotion, like, who do the doctors think they are? They don't belong here. No, we have our own people. Get them out of here. This is not right now. And they're getting bigger and bigger, as it started relatively small, and then just got ballooned in size. And then you saw your own compatriots, your own, I don't want to say friends yet, but your own people on the ship that you hightailed on. And they actually are the ones that persuaded the group to not go into a mob attack. And at that point, they essentially turn around, and the word is spread out, like, do you see how heavily equipped those damn guards are? The hell kind of doctors are these? As they just kind of spread back out and kind of had their aggression deflated.
Well, that's good.
And that's where you all see each other now. Yeah, we're back to the group.
Lucara, did you have any luck with finding quarters?
That I did. I got us a few rooms. I hope at least. So, would you guys want to go back to lodgings, or are we
Well, if the doctors have extremely very hard armed guards, they are obviously doing something. Something a
that
bit bigger than
makes
just
sense.
tending.
Yes.
Because I'm pretty sure a caravan, even of doctors, would not have such heavily armed guards.
Well, doctors are usually one of the first targeted by pirate raids and such.
Yeah, but did you even see them? They have literally extremely, like, they definitely have the funds for at least that armor.
Yes, well, one sword in the sheath keeps another.
I'm not sure. It seems fishy.
There is something odd afoot. It is possible, yes.
Well, anyways, I think they said something about communications here, so perhaps we could try calling up to Kisea to see whether about getting our ship fixed. Then we could call it a night.
I guess.
It has been a long day, yes.
Is there any places in this town that seemingly has that kind of technology to, like, contact far off?
Yes. In fact, talking with some of the locals, they'll direct you towards a communications building at the north of town, and they use that to actually communicate with the main settlement on this hemisphere of Bimil, which is Kissia.
I guess I go to that communications building to find open communication for them.
You do a minor wait as some people are here in the midst of conversation, and it's kind of like a long-range toll booth or a phone booth, essentially what it is. And after a bit of waiting, talking to one of the, I don't want to say employees, but one of the people that are stationed here at the facility, he does look at you and go, "Oh, what's your business? What do you need the facility for?"
I need to contact the port of Kashia. My ship needs repair.
How long do you plan on talking? And you notice he's logging everything down as you're talking with them.
Oh, I think probably a few minutes or so could get everything through.
Do you already have a contact in Kissia?
Not really. We just know that the Kashia has the potential to even repair a ship.
And you said that you're here to have your ship repaired. Where's this ship currently located?
Kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Interesting. Okay, I got the logs down. You have the relay for a few minutes here. And he motions you to step forward into the communications room, essentially.
I guess I go take a step forward.
Go for it.
I'll hand you like a note where I wrote down the GPS of the ship in case you need it.
All right, I guess I go into the booth of the communications thing.
All right, as Arvak, you go in there. Kane and Luca, what are you both doing?
I have to sneeze. Oh, there we go. I'll just.
Licorice is gonna go back to the lake lodgings.
Okay.
I'll just sort of sit outside and watch for now, just sort of keeping an eye out to make sure there's no more trouble.
All right. All right, so, Jane, what about you? Your last one.
Yeah, I'll just be standing around waiting, basically.
Okay.
Same, I'll just outside the door.
All right, so, Arvak, you going in by yourself?
Pretty much, if I'm the only one that has permission.
Give me 1 second. Hold on 1 second, fellas. All right, so you go into the communications room, Arvak, and you're speaking to. Well, you have the console in front of you, and you open up essentially the relay, and you get a computerized screen of either coordinations or coordinates or locations they want to talk to. One of them is Kissia, and you hit that, and you're connected with an individual on the other side, and going, Kissia, read the location. Who is speaking?
Arvak.
Arvak, how can I help you?
Yeah. My ship got caught in a sandstorm thing, shut out all the power, and crash landed in the middle of the desert. We need repairs.
Ship troubles. Let me redirect you to someone that can help you. Give me 1 moment, please. You hear a click, and after a few minutes of waiting, kind of like on a hold, you're connected with another individual. Yes, this is docking port 5. How can I help you? I hear you have some issues with the ship here.
Yes, our ship got crashed, got caught up in one of those sandstorm things. It's kind of face down in the sand and currently in the town of Pilla, needing repairs on it.
The ship needs repairs, went through the storm, crashed. Well, I need to send some boys out there with a skiff to make sure this thing can actually be pulled back to port. If you've gone through that storm, this could be really damn bad. Tell you what, let me check the systems here. We got someone that could show up in 2 days.
2 days?
Yeah, we're a bit busy here. If you want to, you can bring some of that equipment down here. Get diagnostics of the ship. And you can do that through one of the data pads, essentially getting a readout of what's damaged, broken on the ship, which is essentially going to be all for the time being right now. But if you send that back to him, he can take a look at that and speed up the process.
We do have coordinates to the ship.
Oh, that'd be fantastic, actually. Let me have that right now.
Yes. I'll send them to you right now.
Oh, fantastic. How many on the dossier? How many do you have with you? How many crew survived?
Pretty much all the crew, which is pretty much 4 people.
The crew, can you send me a readout of all the crew members you have on the ship, please? I want to make sure that we get anything for the port authorities here, any orbit that might be looking. I want to make sure we got that cleared and covered. Can you send me that information, please?
Well, I'm a Trindoshan, red-ish ash skin, scales. One's seemingly a doctor.
Can you give me their names, their descriptions, please? And I just want to know if you want to give that to him.
Yeah, I'll just give somewhat brief descriptions and names of everyone else.
Okay. All right. He goes, all right, well, I got your communications. I'll send any signals down there to find you, or you can come send stuff to me. By the way, we'll have your ship in about 2 days. We go from there.
All right. I guess that's the best we can do for now.
All right. Good on you, son. And he hangs up, essentially.
All right.
All right, you go
I
ahead and
guess
leave
we
him.
leave the booth.
All right.
Unfortunate. The center
Yeah.
ray made it hard.
Welcome home.
Because Scout just needs so many like good stats.
What?
Oh, back.
All right, Arbok,
Let's
you
go.
you leave the room.
Yes. Okay, so basically they can. I got contact with them. They basically, it's gonna take 2 days to even get the thing back running, or even get back to port. But it might go faster if we can go back to the ship and get all the diagnostics ready.
Ah, very well. So perhaps we should see about renting a speeder tomorrow and heading out there then.
Most likely.
Plus, that we might be able to, if the Javas come, we should be able to fight them off, so to speak.
Yeah. Anyway, yes. The port. When they do get the ship, it's gotta be at the port 5.
Ah, very well. Well, that's a good plan then. But it's been a long day. I feel like I'm getting a drink. You guys want to join me? First round's on me.
I have no reason to refuse it, I suppose. It is not very common for Jedi to drink, to my knowledge.
A drink's a drink.
Right, I guess we're heading back to the Cantina Hotel thing.
Very well.
All right.
Oh,
Oh, sweet.
I guess we can pretend there is a hotel part.
Yeah. Oh, just way a bit large. Let's make that a little smaller.
Oh, interesting. Oh.
Position yourselves where you would like to be, please. Not behind the bar. You can't be behind there.
I hop over the counter.
Yeah.
It is not self-serve.
First round's on you. On you, what you order?
I'll buy, I'm not sure, like, what is this typical, like, Star Wars alcohol?
You get like Carillion ale.
Yeah.
If I can. A round of alcohol, of Carillion ale for me and my friends here.
Oh, all right. We can do that. He takes your stuff, your order.
Kane looks on over at Jen and says, I do not believe you are the typical Jedi.
How so?
Well, normally Jedi have a more dogmatic kind, I believe. Not to mention,
You mean the John sticks in the mud?
most Jedi.
Yes, it'd be exactly
I
correct.
suppose that is one way to put it, yes. They do not seem very fond of indulgence. He sort of gestures towards the fact that they're in a fucking bar.
Yes, and I never really got that. I mean, the Force is everything. It's in all life. So live a little, for God's sake.
I suppose that is one way to look at it.
Okay, so how much does that set me back for a round?
I just guess we're waiting.
Perhaps the DM is sending secret messages.
No, just getting things set up because we have this beautiful cantina to look at.
Oh, you don't say.
Oh boy, it is Katina. Stuff happens usually.
That'll be fine.
It'll be fine. So you're getting drinks. You're living the night way now. So it is definitely night, and it is getting very, very late or early into the night, for that matter, at hand. You had a bit of a day. Telkin Station exploded. Unknown assailants attacked it, killing all the escape pods. You escaped with your lives. Your ship got very, very damaged, but you're seeing that there is an end here. You're able to wait a couple days, or if you go ahead on your own to send over the diagnostics, get your ship repaired, and blast off back in orbit and go on your merry ways. Some very, very small, interesting things have been happening in the meantime, but for the most part, everything seems a bit relaxed and easy now. When you're all there, conversing, getting to know your fellow individuals, your fellow survivors from Telkin Station's events. It's a pleasant evening. People are trickling in and out of the bar. Various Twilight Dancer hologram vids in the corner of the cantina. And for some reason, all cantinas always seem to be the same. You got some seedier people, some people here that have been working out, and it's a various collection of individuals. When you're all sitting there, and the bartender's eyes kind of glaze over, and he immediately shouts with a bit of an alarm as immediately tables get thrown over, and you hear someone go, "Ah, you don't belong here! Damn it, intruder!" And immediately you hear weapons being readied. And not a bar fight. No. This is a fight that takes place in a bar. Not a barroom brawl. Because immediately, I want everyone to go ahead and roll me initiative.
Let's see.
Oh wow. Okay, I'll just die, I guess.
Guess
Remember,
I'll put that.
it does change every
Let's see. Initiative.
Round.
yeah. So
Well, those were both pretty good. Take advantage though.
Hey, I've had worse.
but the initial roll that you guys all do yourselves.
What do you? Oh yeah, it's got an advantage on initiative. Forgot about that. It's probably easier to click the advantage button in the bottom left and then click initiative. Then you only have to do it once.
Oh no, I actually had that set up for you. No, stop. I actually had that set up. I was playing around with it yesterday. Where's that? This is for who's the one that had? It was for you, right, Kane?
What partner?
Who's the one that had the advantage on initiative?
Me, Luker,
Yeah, that's what's it.
Lucar.
It was me.
Oh, is you Lucar?
Yeah.
Okay.
It seems
Yeah.
that- it seems multiple people.
Is it just me or is our tokens disappeared?
Y'all disappeared. Yeah. I
Okay,
just,
yeah.
actually, when I set this
Yeah,
up, for some reason I was thinking this was Edge of the Empire, where there was no grid. I'm like, wait, this is not Edge of the Empire. This is actually 5e.
Yeah,
So,
I was looking at it. I was like, did I do something wrong?
no, there's actual grids for all of you now. So you actually now place your tokens how you want. We have actual grids.
Oh, perfect. Oh, nice.
All right, but real quick, who had advantage on initiative?
Me.
Name yourself, please. Lucar. Okay. Is this only you?
I do not.
Wait, is the bartender taking cover or something, or is he like taking part in the fight?
I said we do the tokens real quick. But let's put the individuals in here that are actually causing the issue.
Perfect. See, this is why we should have taken that little alcove up to the top, you know, little
Oh, I
personal
see,
area.
I see.
Yes, I had a choke point.
Yeah, exactly. You know, they could just throw one thermal detonator in there and we're chilling. Well,
Wait,
cooking, but
It doesn't seem like a good thing.
That'll be fine.
Eh.
A little bit of death never killed no one.
exactly. And there's a table in there. Eh.
it's a kill room.
Actually, it's a bar.
It is a bar.
Wait, we're in a bar? Oh shit. Okay, all I'm saying is, why are there like two tables on the like the far left there?
That's
Hey,
for
hey.
the fancy people.
I just like there's no reason for there
The
not
fancy
to be, like,
people go there.
one table, you know, like. Yeah, split table, very cool. Like, Imagine getting the seat. We're like in the middle, in between both tables. Like,
That's the seat for Long Dick Johnson.
imagine.
He needs 2 entire tables for
I
this.
was saying, there has to be a story there. Maybe some Jedi cut in half. Maybe he got mad. Or maybe a Sith. Ooh.
Sith. Ooh.
Ooh.
All right, I'll be ready in about 10 seconds. We'll be good to go.
1 10 seconds.
10 seconds. Yeah, no, that made no sense. Leave me alone.
Yeah, no, 10 seconds. Obvious.
All right, so you see the locals that are behind the overturned tables, and immediately things are going a bit hectic. The other locals start going, "Oh, what the hell!" And they all start kind of going down, and glasses go everywhere. The Twilight dancers in the corner still play with their ambitious nature because it's just a hologram playing. But top of the round, we have going on is Lucar. It's on you.
Can I do a flip over the bar and land, like, on the other side where there's cover?
Absolutely. It's just going to call that essentially difficult terrain, so go ahead and move.
I have no problems with difficult terrain. But yeah, so 10 feet. Wait.
Yep. So it actually would be 20, make it easy. Bam. You jump over the bar.
Perfect. And then, yeah, I'll just take a shot at, which one seems the most scary? Do they all look the same?
So all of them are standard garb. Now I know the token looks a little bit different, but these all look like locals. But the one in the back that is the bigger individual, that would be this dude right here. He seems to be the one that is actually leading this group.
But you're
perfect.
racist, that's what I see.
So I'm gonna do a, not called shot, but it's a, where is it? It's a thing. Where?
It's a thing. I like things.
Focus. Maneuvers, there we go, okay. A exploit weakness. Basically I use my superiority die, and I add that to my damage. I believe
I think you use that after you've hit. You don't have to use it beforehand.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Wait.
All right, let's do this. We need to target him first. So go ahead and
Yeah,
target Betty by left control clicking on the guy you want to smash, or shoot, or hit, or hurt. There we go.
Perfect.
Now, we do see that he's a bit far away, but what we need to determine right now is the fact that he's behind cover. So at -2, you're going to do your attack roll.
Perfect. Well, wait, so -2, and then I roll?
You fire some shots with your heavy blaster pistol, but it just hits the tables that he's using as cover right now.
Advantage if they haven't attacked yet.
Ooh.
Can't you roll?
Alright, so here's how we're going to do this. So they both miss. But here's how we're going to do this next time. You see where it says
Okay.
ADV to the bottom left?
Yes.
Click on that next time and then roll.
Oh, okay.
So that's just a faster way to do it. Okay, so all of you watch as these tables overturn. These guys going, "They don't belong here! Now get them out of here! Stop them!" As you see immediately Lucar just jump over the damn bar and starts shooting at these guys before they even open fire. Were they targeting you? Maybe you started a fight you didn't need to actually start. Lucar, if you're done, pass your turn.
I am done. How do I pass turn?
So, I forgot this. Everyone, if you haven't already have open, the combat tracker at the top right of Fantasy Grounds, there's a giant sword, little small button. Click on that for the combat tracker. At the bottom left of the combat tracker is a down arrow. Click on that, please. No, pass your turn. There we go. Jin, it is on you.
What?
Now, to reiterate, these guys haven't opened fire yet, but they're all looking in your direction, and all the tables are set in your direction, so probably you they're targeting.
Well, just to be on the complete safe side, I'll move over here for 40 meters, 40 feet.
Go ahead and drag a token. Alright, so you rush over to the side.
Yes, and then I activate Saberstop, and I will not be attacking anyone just yet.
Alright.
But instead, I'll ready my action, and if anyone that's within range of me attacks me, I'll smack him.
Okay.
And that's the end of my turn.
Alright, so the big dude sees all this craziness that's happening right now. He looks in all of your directions, and he at this point is going to pull out a rather big weapon, and it spirals up and then starts unloading on the group of you right here.
Oh boy.
All right, I'm going to do things because actually the guard's behind cover, so it's actually help out a little bit. All right, so we need to have both you guys be able to dodge this. Let's see if you do. All right, looks like you both succeeded, so you only take this. Ooh, so that would have been to you. And that would have been to you.
Whoa.
That is a little too much. It should not have been that much. It should have been...
Only 9 damage.
Yeah, should have been half.
I'm not sure how it is, but if it is a like burst weapon, they don't actually do half damage on a like success. You just take no damage. It could be something else, of course. In that case, never mind.
That's probably why it distargeted him. We'll go with it. I'll figure it out. Then we'll do the last attack against... Alright, so he unloads his weapon amongst all of you, and... yeah, all of you are essentially lucky, it seems.
What card is better?
I'll figure it out. I'll do the damage if I need to. But as is, the other guys, they are going to open fire, and they open fire on the ones that are sent out in the open. So, Kane, you're being targeted by this guy right here. Wait a second. I should have actually rolled yet. Okay, so it would have hit. Alright, so you do get hit by a bit of weapons fire from that dude. The second one comes rushing over to target Jin. Jin, he is in front of you, blaster in hand.
Let's smack him then.
Go for it.
Oh, roll twice. Okay, but the first time.
Yep, first one hit. You'll go with the first one.
Okay, he takes 12 damage.
Alright, he gets super hurt from that. Let's see. Were you targeting him? You were not. Alright.
Oh, did I target the wrong guy? Oh, that's 12 damage to myself. Ouch.
Oh no.
I thought I clicked on him, but I'm glad I did not.
Yeah, you're targeting the wrong guy. So untarget yourself though. So click yourself again to untarget yourself.
You're just straight up murdering these dudes.
So now target him. It was showing the comment tracker. Who you talk? Okay, there you go.
There. Okay.
Alright, so don't roll because we're using the rolls you did. So you did the 20 will definitely hit. And then we'll go with the damage. We'll stick on him. Which will put him out of the fight. So he drops.
Just murdering people.
Well, they're trying to murder you also, so I think it's fair game. The other one sees his companion get blasted, or not blasted, but essentially cut apart by you. So he targets you, Jin.
Bring it.
Oh no.
He unleashes some bolts of the blaster, and you just block it.
Legend.
Last guy is also going to shoot at the one that might do some trouble, which is Arbok. Arbok, some blaster bullets start flying in your direction, and this one will hit. right, Arbok, you get hit by a number of blaster bolts before we go to Kane.
I'm gonna
Hi.
actually use my regenerative trait to gain some hit points from my hit die.
All right.
How do I do that?
All right, so you did the wrong direction. So we're gonna go to this. So which one are you using? Which ability are you using there, Kane?
Regenerative. It's a Trandoshan trait.
Oh, did I have that on there?
It's on the abilities, but it's not on the actions.
I thought I did that. Let's see.
It's just spending a hit die, so I think you could just go on your sheet and click like the hit die button.
Wait. Who's doing the regenerative ability?
Me.
Well, it's not your turn yet.
It's a reaction when it takes damage.
Ah, got it. Okay, I see. Okay. So
Yeah,
I was looking at the wrong character sheet. That's why. Okay, so
it's a reaction roll.
that's why.
Yeah,
So do
you
I
see,
just
on the main part of your sheet, you have a like hit die. I think you just
yeah.
roll that.
Okay.
And
Yeah. So just roll a hit die. Yeah. There you go.
Nice. Not bad. Not bad.
That's pretty cool. All right. All right. So now, Kane, it's your turn.
Did something shoot me again while I was gone?
Yes.
Yeah, you hit twice. Yeah.
Oh
Yes,
boy,
that's
I
all.
really deserve that for sitting here minding my own business.
I know.
So let's see.
Like this combat has no reason, but it does.
What it do.
You just don't know it yet.
Yeah.
These locals want no foreigners in town.
So let's see now. I can't move myself.
Yep, I have to prove it. So you
Okay.
jump over the bar.
Yeah. So if I duck into cover, then I'm going to quickly
You should,
take out
you should probably also move like 5 more feet north, just because like the machine gun can hit both of you, as it is right now.
That'll be fun. We're behind cover. That's what cover is for, anyway.
Fair enough.
So, and with that, I'll go ahead and expend one of my minister aids to basically just give myself a quick culto pack. So let's see, that is. I'm not. Oh, this is acting fucky. I don't like this. Which is, let's see. I
Okay,
believe it's
so what you want to do?
D-
We're going to uncheck that. So here's what you want to do. You're going to check mark it once. Now, you see the magnifying glass to the right of Scholar Maneuvers?
Sure.
Click on that. You should see the hill at that point.
Okay.
Now click on the hill. There we go. There we go.
Hey, not bad. So let me just double check. That is an action, right? Yes. Okay. With that, I'm going to just, as I basically just stick it in myself. Why are we fighting again?
Okay, so real quick, because I know your missing area is targeted, so we actually didn't do it to yourself. So what you need to do now is next time we'll do it, but right now you heal yourself, or actually.
Remember, we can also use the bonus action, use critical analysis.
I've already got the same one, so it doesn't matter.
No, I mean like you
Could
can
use
also.
it on an ally, but that's lame.
Okay.
Okay, so Kane, what are you doing?
I'm just ducking into cover and just hunkering down at this point.
Got it. Pass your turn, please.
There's the right button. If it'll let me hit it.
Arbok, it's on you. The last one that is not in cover.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get over to the bar and head over here.
Fantastic. You jump over the bar, you rush over there.
Alright. And I'm going to do a... I have two of them, right? Okay, so I'm gonna do a pushing attack. Yep. I'm gonna do a pushing attack with a blaster rifle.
All right.
How to mix that together, hoping to push the local into the big guy.
All right, now let's do first things first. It is at -2 because of the cover they're in. Unless you have ability to negate that. Go ahead and click on -2 at the bottom left to apply the modifier. And then go ahead and you should have the ability to do the roll.
I'm going, then that's not even gonna do anything. God dang it, Nabbit.
Oh no.
I literally do nothing this turn then. Never mind. Wonderful.
But at least you're all in cover. All right, round 2. Did not reset. Actually, it did. All right, Kane, it's on you.
Oh, how interesting. Fuck, I can't really run out there because it's too far away. So let's see. All right, so as for now, I'll just go ahead and use the dodge action as I'm in cover, so to make them have disadvantage on attacks against me, and that's it for now, actually.
Got it. All right. Go ahead and pass your turn there, please.
Alrighty, just take care of something.
Lucar, it's on you.
I'll just try to shoot the big guy again.
Go for it.
Nice.
Not with these rolls we're going on, though.
Existence
Yeah,
is
yeah.
suffering.
And yeah, that's about it.
All right.
Forget you also have your Ranger's Quarry that you can use.
That is true.
All right. Arbok, he is going to try and target you. A string of fire from his weapon just pelts the area around you, but you're in good enough cover that nothing happens. Arbok, it's on you.
Huh. Right then. I'm gonna try and target the dang local again. I guess I still have a superiority die left. You can do 2 of them.
Well, you didn't use it because you didn't hit, so you still have 2.
Alright then, I guess I'm gonna still try and shoot him again. Pushing attack.
Go for it. That one will hit.
And I want to push, and he has to do a thinking.
So,
Thanks,
go
Dave.
to your character sheet, click on the magnifying glass next to pushing attack, and click on the save button.
Oh, okay.
He did succeed. So now go ahead and do the damage.
Alright then.
You still did more damage.
And you definitely did damage.
And I'm gonna do an action surge.
Oh shit.
Ooh.
All right.
Do I have to click anything for that, or do I just do it?
No, you already clicked it. So, or check mark it on your sheet.
Check mark it?
Yep.
Just to indicate it's been used.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
And I'm going to try and hit him again with the blaster rifle.
Go for it.
And does absolutely jack diddly.
All right. They are going to start to move in a rearward fashion. So he moves backwards. He's going to continue firing on you, Arvok. Seeing as you are one of the effective ones, they're going to try and take you out if he can.
That's a bar. Is that half cover or is it 3/4 cover?
So far, I'm getting everything -2 for the cover.
Okay.
Stitch of fire of bolts and the bar, and it just... Bar is getting damaged up. Everything's flying everywhere, and small amounts of debris is just kind of peppering you. Jin, this guy is not liking what you're doing, so he comes over here to get line of sight on you, and he's going to
Well,
try
that's just
and
rude.
smack you down.
That's just rude.
The rudest.
And this one will hit.
I will be burning a use of my force, force shield to increase my AC by an additional 4.
Okay. Then it will miss.
Probably like add a action on my sheet or something for that.
I'll look at it later. I was able to work on 2 of your character sheets before the game. All right. He's also going to get back. And he's also going to pelt the bar at Arvok. This time will hit Arvok. So Arvok, you get hit by a bit of... Ooh. All right. Some of the fire does go around and hit through the bar into you, Arvok. Does tag you a bit. Then we go to Jin.
Alrighty, let's see. This guy shot me. That was quite rude of him. I'd like to, make him stop doing that, and preferably stop being alive. I move 30 feet up here.
All right.
Then I'll give him a good old smack.
Go for it.
And I'll, as my bonus action, I will use animate weapon to have an additional
Fuck it up.
and I miss as well. Okay, well that's okay.
Ugh, those misses. All right, pass your turn there, Jin. Hey, top of the round, Jin. It's on you.
Oh shit! Oh. So first then, I'm still targeting him. First Saber Strike. And then
These rolls.
Then the animate weapon bonus action.
Wait a minute, we hit someone?
Surprise.
Yes,
We
it's
got
it's
it.
a miracle.
Woo!
So, I thought we were all just gonna miss all the time.
Yeah, I thought we agreed on that.
You're Imperial Stormtroopers.
Yes. Okay, and I'll keep moving. So I'll just basically rush past him. Or actually, I have enough movement. I can just go around, so he can't make an opportunity attack.
All right.
Yep, I'll move like this.
All right. You're watching as the Jedi is dancing around the damn battlefield. This is what they do.
That it is.
Look, it's on you.
Okay, so I'm gonna use my action to use my Silver Tongue ability. I don't know how to show that, but basically I roll a Deception versus man's, and they do a Wisdom check, and then if I succeed, I get advantage on them for my next turn.
Okay, so you need a wisdom check.
Yes.
Oh,
And I roll Deception.
You succeed.
20 total. Perfect. And that's my turn.
All right, pass your turn. Arvok. You guys have the advantage right now. You're all in initiative order, or a good order.
Hell yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna still try and shoot the guy. Wait, is he still in cover?
You're all in cover.
I'm not gonna. I can't.
Ah, these rolls are bad.
Existence
I'm
is
gonna
suffering.
just use second wind because it's silly night and I can just get it tomorrow.
Go and do it.
All right.
Same thing. Magnifying glass on your character sheet. They'll open up. You can heal yourself.
You know, I'm just upset.
It's just one of those days, I guess. One of those days. Pass your turn, Arbok. Kane, it's on you.
With a noticeable sigh, Kane sort of pulls out his blaster. He's like, every time. And with that, he's just going to aim at one of the locals. Let's see. Hopefully I can get good luck on this. So let's see. Pew. Hey, there we go.
Nice.
Scary.
Work that out. Pew. As I sort of shoot out, I'm saying, we don't want to kill anyone. Or at least I don't.
They're most definitely wanting to kill you. That's for damn sure. Kane,
Trying to
what
be
damage?
polite. This is what I get. Oh, okay, my bad. I thought it auto rolled damage. Interesting. Alright, so let's see. Damage for the light pistol.
That'll be enough. That will drop him.
Damn.
He hits the ground.
Doing max damage.
Not bad, not
So
bad.
that's big deal.
Kane, pass your turn.
Alrighty. So let's see. There's the combat tracker. I had to look for it for a second.
Fantastic. Big guy is going to unleash some fire into the closest enemy. That is Jin.
Okay, bring it.
Crits.
Oh, bring it a bit less. Oh, it doesn't attack. Wait, no, it's 23. That will still hit me even if I use it. Okay, yeah, either hits.
All right. Oh, but I rolled a 1. Okay, for damage.
Oh.
All right, did I cover that Jedi stuff?
Right.
All right, but unfortunately, you're the only one that's without the open Jin, so they are going to target you also.
Enough. Does the table give me cover?
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. Let's let them bring it.
Not with that one. He's also doing the same thing because you're out in the open for the most part. So you will do the same thing and try to snag you. And that one...
Oh.
I use my I use it again, and this time he does not hit me.
Okay.
I used it
There
4
can
times.
continue to move backwards. Back to it also.
Oh boy.
A fighting retreat. Alright, top of round 3 is going to be Jin. It's on you.
Oh my god. God.
You get the good rolls.
Then-
Yeah.
You know what? I didn't... Okay, it looks like I removed that effect on accident from... No, it has still. Alright.
Well, I'll advance up to here.
Alright. All of you watching as this Jedi is way up front compared to everyone.
Hey,
Yes.
as long as I'm not getting shot, I'm fine.
Same.
This soldier is fighting on the front lines. Okay, let's see. Yeah, sure. I'll try to get this small fry down first. So I'll target. Oh wait,
Right.
no, it's actually out of range.
But you're targeting yourself. Remember, untarget yourself. There you go.
Local big 5, since he is within range.
Alright.
Just have my saber fly around and try to smack him in the face.
Go for it.
Fuck him up.
Ooh.
That will hit.
Ooh. Oh.
Man, everyone's got low damage rolls right now. Grief.
Yeah.
And then it's the bonus action from animate weapon.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's not it. Okay, and that's the end of my turn.
Alright, pass your turn.
Whoa.
Yep.
Yeah, fuck it up.
Alright, same thing. They're doing a shoot and retreat. So he shoots at you again, Jin, and this one is going to be a 17, which misses. And he runs behind cover.
Unless the bathrooms there, or
Kane, it's on you.
Oh no.
Okay. So I kind of want to move. Oh, you go very far. Yeah, I mean, yeah, let's move here. Move
All
there,
right.
and then I will. Oh, I'm retarded. My name's not Kane.
I was about to say,
Why did I have special needs.
yeah, don't
I
worry.
am
I'm moving the car. Wrong guy. Kane, what are you doing? Oh, you can
I
just
sort of hop over the counter as I start
Mr.
walking
Bean,
forward.
really?
Alright.
I'm like, sort of holstering my blaster once again. Like I said, I don't want anyone here to die tonight, friend, so I'd recommend, you...
Yeah, you notice that when you talk, they are not replying to you at all.
They don't care.
They don't care.
That's not very nice.
I'm, as for now, just going to, I'll dash, yeah, let's say, and I'll keep walking forward to right here.
Alright.
And that's that. So let's see.
Alright. Again, he's also going to rush here. Before, he's going to shoot at Jin again, though.
it's quite rude of him.
And he's going to miss, and he is going to continue running. Which would put him actually out of sight also.
Getting nowhere. I can run faster than him.
Lukar, now you can move.
Hey, okay, I'll use dash action. So I can move what, 60, right? Double movement.
Yes.
That was your movement.
Move here.
The jump of the bar is actually gonna be 50, so we're gonna move you a little bit less. So we're gonna put you like right here.
Wait, no, I have a. Wait, I think I have a.
Yeah, scouts ignore difficult
community-
terrain.
Then I'll put you back over here.
Yeah, perfect.
All right, you dash forward, Lukar. Go ahead and pass your turn.
And then I do nothing.
Arbok, you see that they're doing a fight and retreat.
Yeah, I'm just gonna shoot him. Is he in cover still?
He's out in the open. Local 1. It's the only one you can see. Nice.
Damn.
Nice. He also goes down.
Damn.
So we have a couple bodies on the ground, and we have lost sight of the other 2 individuals. Pass your turn, Arbok. Kane, it's on you.
Y'all rolling so well. When I read this.
I saw them run off. I'm gonna like, I don't remember exactly where they were, but I'm gonna go over to, I think it was somewhere around here. The bodies of one of the ones that I shot and hopefully didn't kill. And if so, I'm going to try and stabilize him.
Okay. You went over to one of the guys that was here, and I'm gonna say this.
I think recall the one in the south that was actually knocked unconscious. He did not die, he just failed it. Saving throw.
Goes.
Gonna see what.
All right. You get next to him. What would you like to do?
Is he alive or no?
He's unconscious.
Okay, yeah. So then I'll try to hopefully stabilize his wounds, keep him from bleeding out horribly.
All right. Go ahead and give me a medicine roll.
Hey.
Whoa.
Shit, dog.
So it's that is the entirety of my turn.
Yeah.
Jin, it's on you.
Just move it 25 feet up here. Can I see anyone or anything?
It disappeared. Oh no.
You, in fact, do not see them.
Yeah, I'll move a further 15 feet up to reach the remaining of my movement.
You notice that there is a door right here.
Oh, we need to going outside?
You get to the door, and it is... I mean, you do have a lightsaber, obviously, but the door is locked.
To cut or not to cut? That is the question.
Is it really a question though?
Yeah, fuck it. I'll let him get away. I won't cut.
Lukar.
I run. I use dash action, so I can make it all the way there. Neat. And yeah, that's all I can do.
Alright, I guess I'll stay with the dang doctor.
Can I use a reaction like to not my turn to shout or?
You can. That's
The
what's going on.
fucking building's on fire. Let's get the fuck out of there.
Wait, what?
In fact, as you get over there, Lukar, you see that there is now smoke coming from underneath the door at the back here.
Interest.
No, we gotta
grab a body and let's move.
Alright, I guess I help Dane Kane get the unconscious guy out.
Oh, how nice of you.
Hey, Jin, you should open that door with your fancy stick there. You should have cut real well, don't it?
The 5 is coming from there. I think we might be better served going for the other exit.
Alright, so at this point, combat is over, but the building is, well, that part of the building is on fire completely. We have a couple seconds to determine what's going on before I continue forward with the events that's happening. But that part of the building is on fire. What do y'all react to? How do y'all react to this? What do you do?
I'll be running over to the first guy cut open that went unconscious to grab him and potentially try to drag him with me out of the room or out of the cantina.
Alright, I will say there is one alive here. The rest of them were taken down.
Okay, in that case,
So it's the one that actually, the one that Kane is actually attending to right now is the one that's still alive.
Okay, in that case, I'll just be vacating out of the entrance we came in.
Alright.
I guess I'm helping Kane get the guy out.
How nice of you.
Alright. You all get to the front entrance of the... Is that where you're going? Actually, yes, where you guys are going.
Yeah.
Alright. You rush to the front entrance of the cantina, and it is also locked.
Okay, easiest fancy shine
Yeah.
sword.
So, yeah. The lightsaber easily opens the door. And with that, y'all actually do leave the building. Now, it is completely on fire. And there's a crowd of locals that are standing outside watching and going, "What's going on? What's going on?" They're always watching as this unfolds.
So it's basically like the exit is covered in fire.
Like, are both exits covered in fire or something?
The building's on fire. The exit at the back was. The front one was just locked, which was easily able to be opened by a lightsaber, for that matter.
I guess we go out of that way.
So the local, also what are going on, we were attacked by a group of people. This one was amongst them, so we would much like to ask him what's going on. I like just to do the unconscious fellow.
Yeah, he is quite unconscious. But what you're also seeing, which is a bit interesting, is what I mentioned to Kane, but I didn't mention anything back, is that this individual has the local clothing on, but underneath it is very, very nice and relatively clean and possibly expensive jumpsuit,
Oh my god, the doctors sent them on us.
a military jumpsuit.
Yes, I
And
knew
we
that
tried
you
to
can't
save
trust the
them.
doctors.
Did we see the guards from earlier, like with the doctors wearing this jumpsuit?
They were wearing armor over that one. These were not. These are armored. These could possibly be the jumpsuits underneath that armor.
Who knows?
But as it is, that is where I'm going to end today's game.
Alright, there.
Nice.
Good session, everyone. It's really fun.
Yeah, that's good. Good thing I missed every single shot.
It happens.
That's how it is,
Unfortunately, it does happen.
Yeah.
I managed to miss 3 times in a row.